Whee! Hello, viewer. In fact, hello, viewer. I've just figured out why Nerdrotic is probably so late all the time because it gives people time to come to the front of the stream. So, anyway, hello, viewer. We're late. Sorry, I do apologise. It is Saturday, January the 7th, 2023. I am Mr. Brown. And may I be the last to wish you all Happy New Year. Still no new war has been declared, so everything is good so far, folks. So, on this evening's stream stroke podcast, we will be discussing the movie from 2021, which allegedly is the same universe as John Wick up until I read 5 minutes ago that it isn't. Yes, that is correct. It is Nobody, starring Saul Goodman, Bob Odenkirk. So before we move on, don't forget you can find us here on the YouTube, or if you prefer your entertainment in the podcast form, we are on Spotify. There are links below in the description. So, if you've not nodded off by now, as I always say, let's get the guests out. Lots to get through. Let's get them out. Here we go. So, third time is the charm. He's 6 months in the future. It is Romeo. Tango November Zulu.
Oh, kia ora, Shamai. Good afternoon. Well, actually, it's just about to become afternoon here. Now, Mr. Brown, if you like, I can turn the camera on for a moment just to prove we have shit weather in New Zealand as well.
Bear with me. Hold on.
All right.
Go on, then.
Landscape. Go. So look, the weather has turned. It is summer, but the weather has turned shit. It stopped raining for about 5 minutes, but we get a phenomenon called horizontal rain here near Wellington, where the rain comes in sideways. We've had lots of that, so yeah, not nice. Other than that, I've got my Punisher shirt on today.
Oh, get in.
Appropriate for our stream.
Get to shave, you scruffy bastard.
Well, I've got a few days off work, so I can take it a bit easy, but yeah.
So
very fortunate. Yeah, all good, thanks. Yeah. Looking forward to this stream and talking about this terrific film.
Shall we just get on with it because we're horrendously late? Sorry,
please.
Okay, so next, watch out, War and Peace. Fresh off a viewing of the movie, it is the Star Wars novelist himself. We love this guy. It is Swapshop. Hello there.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between and beyond. I just feel like I've walked out of the cinema from seeing a great film.
Oh, get in. Shall we get the next guest out? You are well, though, aren't you? Sorry.
I can't complain. Yeah, I think we should move on swiftly.
Yes. Okay, and last but by no means least, he is the wise elder of the channel. You know the rest. It is the great, and he's late, the mega geek himself, Ian David Diaz.
Hello, everyone.
You all right?
I'm all right, matey. I'm all right. Looking forward to discussing this movie, which I really liked, actually. So,
I saw you arguing the toss with Dan. That was quite good.
What about Star Trek? Yeah,
yeah.
It's good to argue. Well, we weren't arguing. It's just a heavy discussion.
I was backing you up there in the chat.
Yeah, I don't agree with this Star Trek. I don't think anyone should support anything they do.
I will say Strange New Worlds average at best. But there you go. So, you well, yeah?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. I'm all right.
Okay. Hello, chat. We can see you. Apologies for being late. That's the cats. Sometimes the cats work in your favour and sometimes they don't. So we'll do some blurb and then we'll go on with it. Nobody 2021. That's the year. Certificate 15. 1 hour 32 minutes runtime. Release dates, everybody. March 26th, 2021. That's USA. June 9th, 2021 UK. I think this is where I'm going to start struggling. Director Ilya Naishuller, writer Derek Kolstad, produced by Bob Odenkirk and others too numerous to mention. Music by David Buckley. Fight coordinator Daniel. I thought this was worth a mention. Fight coordinator Daniel Bernhardt, starring Bob Odenkirk as Hutch Mansell. Here we go. Aleksey Serebryakov as Yulian Kuznetsov. Sorry, I completely thought that out. Connie Nielsen. Yeah, thank you. That's why you're on here. I'm going cross-eyed looking at the words. Connie Nielsen, Becca Mansell, the great Christopher Lloyd as David Mansell. The budget was $16.16 million gross worldwide. It made $57.5 million. That's 5.7, so not too bad. Shall we we'll just start going through it then, yeah? So, okay, so...
you're not going to mention Ian's close personal friend who's in this film?
Not yet.
Yeah.
You mean the wonderful...
The actor?
Yeah, the wonderful Michael Ironside.
Aye.
Mike Ironside.
We've got some
from Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Toronto, eh?
Yeah, I think this was shot in Toronto, so it obviously didn't have very far to go. Okay, we've got some new graphics. If you have made it this far and you're enjoying this content, and why wouldn't you be, please like, share, and subscribe. Every single click will help this channel grow. Moving on. Okay, so there's the poster. Who would like to go first? Initial thoughts or feelings over this? Romeo, do you want to go first?
Yep, I've got two quick thoughts. Okay, first, the unlikely badass or the secret badass trope has become very, very overused in recent years. You know, where you have an ordinary protagonist who then turns out to have been a former assassin or whatever. It's becoming a bit too well worn, except when it's done like this, where it's done in sort of a fresh and entertaining way. And that's the thing about tropes, right?
Yeah.
Tropes are effective for a reason, because they work when you do them right. So this film takes a well-worn trope, a trope that's far too often used now, but does something neat with it. And that comes down to the characters. And the only other thing I'd like to say before we start is this. A lot of the film's very grounded, but they do have a subtle way of setting you up for the suspension of disbelief, and that's by having a guy like that married to Connie Nielsen. Because that, to me, I was watching the first part of the film, watching him jog, watching him take the rubbish out. Great, setting us up, for a grounded approach to the film. And then you see his wife, and you're like, no, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Where have I seen her before?
Devil's Advocate,
Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Justice League.
Yes.
You know what? I thought that was Diane Lane.
Yes.
It wasn't. It was her.
Oh, Diane Lane's in it as well as Martha Kent, but she plays Wonder Woman's mother. She's Connie Nielsen is Wonder Woman's mother, Hippolyta. Robin Wright's in there too as the general.
Yep, she's in there.
So you enjoyed this film, Romeo? I
did. I think, yeah. As I say, well-worn trope done in an innovative and interesting way.
Yeah.
Enough from me.
Okay, Swappers, you're from a fresh viewing. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm sort of still processing it, really. I've just come out, I'm still sort of buzzing and I'm quite on a high from it. But I mean, I had a lot of distractions and interruptions as well when I was watching it, but it didn't really take away from how enjoyable it was. I kind of went in with average expectations, although I knew it's received a lot of praise from a lot of people I know. I've not really heard anything bad about it at all.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be a good film, but I wasn't prepared for quite how good. And it's really intelligent, really well thought out, and just a lot of attention to detail. It's not over the top, really, although some of the action scenes are quite bombastic, but it's not beyond the realms of believability. And Bob Odenkirk is completely believable all the way through it, and you just completely forget about Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
You really is a completely different person,
Great,
and
isn't he?
it just goes to show his range and the capacity of what he can do, and subtleties as well. Because this character is nothing, he's nothing but subtle in this movie. He's just, he's not over the top. He's not rageful, apart from in a couple of little bits when he kind of loses his rag, But generally, he's a very mild mannered guy, and he pulls him off so well, and completely believable. I mean, I totally bought the whole thing from beginning to end. And it's not necessarily, we're not talking everyday occurrences. This movie, this isn't sort of mundane everyday life going on, even though it starts off that way. And he just carries it, the whole thing, doesn't he? Makes it completely believable of all this crazy stuff that starts happening later on. And I've got to say, even though it's not in the same, officially, I guess, now you found out, in the same universe as John Wick, which is kind of sad, really.
They're open to the idea, though, in future
I'll tell you what, I wish it was, because the crossover somewhere down the line would be phenomenal.
Brilliant,
but I enjoyed this a lot more. I mean, I've only seen the first John Wick movie. I haven't seen the others, but I enjoyed this a lot more than John Wick, I've got to say.
We'll do a quick chat. Not Brian Young asks the question, does he end up in jail for 86 years at the end of the movie? No.
86 years? Oddly specific.
Ian?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, it's a good film. Although I was, if you look at the trailer very carefully, it tells a very different story to the story that's presented in the movie. So the trailer tells you that this guy's just an ordinary guy. He gets robbed and he doesn't do anything, and he decides to do something about it. But the film actually is not the way the trailer portrays it. So we find out that he used to be what is it, not an accountant, an auditor, which means he's basically an assassin.
Yeah.
And he goes around killing people for money, and then he meets this girl, he falls in love, and then he has a family, gives everything up to have a family. And then this thing happens, and then it basically ignites who he really is, especially when it comes to the bus scene, because he actually says it, doesn't he?
Triggered, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's something inside of me that just wants to come out, and it does. It does come out with a wonderful choreographed scene in the bus, and the guy that gets his teeth knocked out, he's the one that choreographed the fight. So he's a stunt guy. He was in John Wick. Yeah, he was in John Wick. He was in John Wick. He's been in a lot of movies. If you look closely.
Yeah, Daniel Bernard.
Yeah,
I thought I'd put that in. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies.
And great, isn't it? It's great.
The best thing about this film, without a shadow of a doubt, is Bob. Definitely. If Bob wasn't in it and it was somebody else, I probably wouldn't have warmed to it at all. Yeah. He just has a way of performing.
Yeah.
And you believe him and you like him. And that's really important when you cast someone. I think it's the baggage that he brings from Better Call Saul that you end up liking him even more. And plus, another thing that this film does, which is unheard of really, is they do things and they don't explain it. So they're obviously lining up for a sequel. Like, for instance, when he has the money, he says, come and take it. And he sees the tattoo on his hand. And the guy goes, thank you for your service. And he shuts the door and he locks everything. You're like wondering what's going on. Yeah, but they don't explain it, though. And other things they don't explain as well. So I'm hoping that in the sequel, they will explain it. Like, for instance, guys, the question is, do you think his wife knew what he did in the past? And the reason why I asked that question, is because that scene when he tells his family to get into the car, and she says to him, you're gonna have to come to terms with this, blah blah blah. She wasn't angry. She wasn't going, "What the hell's going on?" or anything. She was very calm, wasn't she? Yeah. So I got the impression that she knew about his past life, which wasn't said in the movie.
Yeah.
So even at the ending, I think it confirms it when they say, "Have you got a basement?"
Yeah.
Remember, when in the house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
There's all these questions in the film that haven't been answered. So anyway. I liked it. I really liked it.
File 13 likes it as well. Hello, File. It was more believable than John Wick World, References of a special unit in Vietnam and connections to the government made it feel more of a believable individual in the real world. It did. Apparently, Bob Odenkirk got the idea for this film off a real event in his life. Somebody, I think, did somebody break into his house and he had to hide in the?
Yes. And he didn't. He obviously didn't do anything. Yeah. Well, obviously, the right thing to do is not to do anything.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we all and I know the chat seems to be liking this, so I think we all like this, don't we?
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Should we do the slides? There are lots of slides, but a lot of this is kind of fast editing, isn't it? To kind of because it is a prim and proper 92 minutes, which isn't particularly long, but it's perfect for this film. So no baggage, as it were. So let's go through these then. Shall we kind of go through the first scene, which is kind of setting up his life, isn't it? There's kind of a lot of live, repeat, go to work, repeat, all that type of stuff. So I think the first part is where we are kind of effectively going to the end of the film, aren't we? So he's being interrogated.
Yeah. This is the ending sequence, isn't it?
Yes.
Straight after it. Actually, the one thing that I if there was a nitpick, I thought that the music they used was a bit rubbish. but apart from that, I think I don't know what it was trying to say with the music. All the music was quite old, wasn't it? That they used in the film.
Yeah.
But especially the music
kind of
they used
vinyl
here.
references.
Yeah. But it's a good way to start because then you're wondering what's going on, basically. So yeah.
I like the painting on the left.
Well, that's a famous painting he steals, doesn't he, to compensate for his house being blown up. So
yeah. Okay, so tuna and a cat. I know how that feels. Okay. So these are the police officers, and what did they say, Swappers? Who the fuck are you, or something like that?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure they say who the fuck are you, do they? Just say so.
Yeah, they do say it.
Do they say who the fuck? All right, okay.
Yeah, they say who the fuck are you? Yeah.
Who the fuck are you? Yeah.
What's quite interesting about this scene is it's obvious that they shot that in the same place where they shot the climax, and all they did was make everything black around them. And so it's so obvious that they did that to save money, but also the fact that what's quite interesting as well, it doesn't explain it. She gets a call and then he gets a call.
Both at the same time, yeah.
And they both look at each other and they realize who they're dealing with, but they never tell the audience who they're actually dealing with.
We never know, do we? Yeah.
No. So it's quite interesting.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll go through the first lot of slides because it's just setting up his life, isn't it? Of day to day, Monday to Friday stuff, isn't it? So, so here we go then. So always starts on a Monday, yes?
Yeah.
Does the week start on Monday or Sunday? Anyway.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Monday for me.
Okay. So, Richard, did you like this kind of setting up his life by these kind of quick?
I did.
Bish bash bosh scenes.
I did. The montage, it works effectively. It establishes, his settings, his environment, and all the rest, but does it in a very economical way. I mean, some films, even Die Hard takes 20 minutes for the actions to get going, whereas this film, it doesn't mess around that much. I think it knows it's got a limited time to get the audience invested.
I will say, Richard, the card there is very important.
Hello?
Unbeknown. The card, yeah.
The what?
The bus card, the bus pass.
Yeah. Metro.
That's going to be important for later on.
Yeah.
Remember that later.
Yeah. So here we go. Swappers, did you like all this kind of just setting up the scene for his life? That he's obviously an accountant.
It was, I knew they were setting stuff up, but I wasn't grabbed really until the Russians came into it. That's when it really got me.
Right.
Yeah.
You went grabbed
obviously,
from the house invasion.
Well, the bus sequence was
Yeah.
what really got me. But the, it kind of really got its fingers into me when we got introduced to the bad guys, and I thought, holy shit, okay, I can really see the big picture now. But up to that point, I was kind of, it was taking a while to sort of to pull me down the aisle, if you know what I mean.
She's obviously a bigger estate agent by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Swappers.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, it's kind of these quick shots, the way it's all well edited, but it's like cycled over and over and over. It shows the sort of person he is, what his life is, the fact that he keeps himself in shape still, and the fact it kind of drops little hints of information about his relationship with his family. What his his attitude's like and why it's like this. So it doesn't like give you all the information you need. It just drops enough information to pull you in to the start of the film and to make you think, where's this going? So yeah, it kind of establishes who he is, but not who he is, if you know what I mean.
Who was the guy who kind of does all these kind of quick, choppy edits? The one who was going to do,
Edgar Wright?
Yes. This was channeling Edgar Wright for me.
Well, not as much, because Edgar Wright's far more visual when he does his thing. But this was just telling you that his mundane life, he was showing you his mundane life. That's all it was basically doing. And how he keeps forgetting to take out the trash.
Yes.
His wife always tells him off every day about, she doesn't tell him off, but she kind of, has a go slightly.
He obviously doesn't sleep with his wife because he's a big...
Well, see, that's not explained either. They've got that thing that's dividing them.
Something wrong between them, we don't know what.
Yeah.
So
it's called middle age, mate.
It is.
Yeah.
It's called middle age.
Okay, so he's just looking at his kids. I think this is where the kind of repeat stuff stops now. So his son is there.
Yeah.
And this is where this is where he's hearing something, isn't it? So.
But it's very clever though, because you don't realise what happened in this scene. So you see this scene, and then later on, when he's explaining it, you realise that the person that pointed the gun at him didn't have bullets, and he knew the gun didn't have bullets. That's why he didn't take the swing.
Yeah.
Because it's pointless. You know what I mean? He knew he can take them, but he didn't have to prove it.
Yeah.
Mind you, he did let his son get a punch in the face.
He did, yeah.
Which is a bit annoying.
Because he's just basically saying, just take whatever. Because he could have just taken them out.
Yeah, he could have.
But I don't think he wanted to wake up the beast, as it were. Did
No,
he?
That was the whole point.
Which is quite good. So he just let them take, as you said, no bullets.
But also the fact that, he just there wasn't a lot of money in the house anyway. It was only the spare change, and they just took that and they ran out, didn't they? So
he saw this tattoo on, was it the girl? I think it was the girl.
Was it the girl or the guy? I can't remember. It's one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think this is where the boy, you can see on the left, is taking, I think, is he taking the male one down? And he gets twatted for his trouble. Yeah, it must have been quite difficult just to let his son get beaten up when he could have just finished it all in one go.
Well, as you said, he didn't really want to let the beast out, did he? Because if he did, then he would probably kill them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We'll just go into his pre-programmed motion, won't he, and kind of just go into assassin mode without even thinking about it, and it will ruin everything, basically.
Yeah.
So the lad is struggling on the floor. Obviously, still knows there's no bullets.
Well, he can see there's no bullets because it's a revolver, isn't it? So he sees there's no bullets in it. Although there could have been one in the chamber, but hey.
The sun is there. And they're off. His son's not happy.
No, I love the so after everything that happens, the only reason why he actually goes after them is because the kitty cat the kitty cat bracelet was gone when his
Yeah, we're
daughter
going to get to that. Yeah, we're going to get to that. I know. Yeah,
and it was really
We're
funny.
going to get to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the police turn up, and this is what I think. Is this where we find out how they got in?
Yeah.
And Richard, how did they get in?
I'm drawing a blank. I saw this last week.
Pizza box.
You'll have to remind me. That's right.
It was a pizza box holding up the garage door, wasn't
The
it?
garage. That's right.
Yeah.
That's how they got in.
There you go. Annie Mouse, pizza box.
Pizza box.
And that cop is just basically judging him, isn't he?
Yeah,
when he says,
I thought that. Yeah. Did he just you let these people just do that to your family? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the event, as it were, you can see the divide between. Yeah, but Richard, that's married life, isn't it?
Well, but yes, welcome to married life in middle age.
Yeah. I don't think it was. I don't think they would. That was because of that, though. I don't think it was. It's something else, because you wouldn't do that after that night. You wouldn't. Why would you do that? So again, it's something that's not explained.
Yeah.
For some reason,
doesn't really need to be.
No, it doesn't. Until
here you go, sequel. Tim. I like saying this. Hannibal Mellow Tim. Great start to the story.
I wonder how old the daughter's going to be when he makes the sequel. She's going to be older, isn't she? If they use the same actress.
I think the sequel's coming up this year. I think they're making it this year. I'm sure they are. Yeah. Because it did return a modest profit, and everybody seemed to like it. So.
Yeah, it's got legs.
Yeah.
It's also a mainstay of. It always seems to be trending on Netflix down here. Yeah. So it must get quite a bit of viewership, and I guess the box office alone is not a true indication of its success. So yeah, I'm sure that there's a sequel coming. Though wasn't the sequel delayed by Bob's illness? Didn't he have a heart attack? Or
a heart attack?
Yeah.
But that's when he was making Better Call Saul as well. So that stopped a bit, but. He spent a whole year training for this film,
which saved his life ultimately.
Yeah.
Appion in the chat, hello Appion. Their marriage is on the rocks. Yeah, because we kind of get the pictures here saying that all's not well. The daughter wants to come and sleep with his pappy.
I don't know. I question that. I don't think the relationship was on the rocks. I think there was something that happened that separated them both, or there's something unspoken between them both. Otherwise, she would have been more distant with him, because it's obvious that they're close, especially when there's the breakfast scenes and stuff like that. It's not like she's, you know what I mean. So I don't think their marriage is on the rocks. I just think there was a problem that's not explained in the movie. Yeah. For some reason, I don't know.
Well, wouldn't you say, Ian, that this is it's a bit of good filmmaking and good writing, because it is showing rather than telling. So rather than have her say, "Oh my God, I can't stand to be married to you anymore. You're such a loser." Instead, we get, these looks, this sort of the physical divide between them, and those sorts of things, which suggests there's problems, but it's showing us, letting us come to our own conclusion rather than telling us there's a problem.
Unfortunately for teachers and people who actually teach script writing, this is a no-no. You should never do this in the screenplay at all. Majority of things should be explained. There's a 3-act structure, blah, 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 blah. There's all these rules. But as you can see throughout the years, screenplays, the way you present screenplays as films is changing. I think Tarantino did something in Pulp Fiction that no other filmmaker did, which is to put the end in the middle, or you know, in the middle, in the end, you know what I mean, stuff like that, like a novel. So he kind of started that off. So the rules are kind of slightly changing when it comes to screenplay writing, and we can accept this more so. If this came out in the 70s or the 80s, people would be going, "There's no explanation." They'll be moaning and stuff. But I think today we're more lax.
Is there 3 acts for this film?
Yeah, there is. There is
Oh, is
3
there?
acts.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just thought there were 2. Okay. So he's still missing to put the bin out. He's still not putting the bin out. So
No, yeah.
So I think the son is peeved with the old fella because he's got a black eye for his troubles.
But he's going to do a project, but you know, the father thinks that he's going to, you know, do the project on him, but he says, "I want to do it on Uncle," because Uncle was a CIA agent stuff,
Yeah.
and then he kind of says, "Okay," do you know what I mean? But you can tell that Bob was a bit disappointed, but you know, if he's going to do that, it's going to do that, really. So, yeah. But the daughter loves him, though.
Yeah, I did like this. Was fun. This where she puts
Yeah.
the orange in the mouth and
Yeah.
pulls funny faces. He was obviously making breakfast, and then nobody wanted it, so they just put it all in the bin.
Yeah. But it's more on him, though. It's more on him. He's disappointed that he didn't do what he could do. Do you know what I mean? And obviously his son is disappointed with him because his son thinks his dad's a coward. So, and that neighbour is a bit of an arse, you know.
Appion says,
I love how they do that throughout the story. They kind of
You're going swappers. Bit of a delay.
Set up and pay off.
sorry, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how everyone in his life circle kind of thinks that he's just this sort of sad guy that wouldn't say boo to a goose, and they were trying to give him advice and everything, and he's just kind of just holding his tongue the whole time, isn't he? About what he could school everybody, but he just stays in control.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so you do say this has got 3 acts.
It does.
Right. Okay, I'm assuming the 3rd act is the action sequence at the end then.
Yeah, it's the climax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the neighbour. Did he inherit money from his dying father, his dead father?
His car.
Yeah. I forget what year it is. A 70-something, was it Ford?
Trans Am,
Dodge,
isn't it?
Charger.
Is it?
Dodge Charger or something, yeah.
But he's your typical neighbour where, you know, he states that, nobody will get past me, you know, the you know, that, well, I hate to say it, masculinity, you know, he's basically displaying that, isn't he? And obviously Bob's character knows he's talking bollocks because obviously Bob's been there, you know, when it comes to life and death situations. So, yeah, interesting scene.
Appion says the 3rd act starts when he burns the money and becomes the Punisher.
Yeah, you could say that, or the 3rd act starts where he confronts him in the a nightclub, and he has the bomb with him.
Yeah.
So you could say it starts there, but yeah, it's either way, really.
Okay, so now we're going back to the mundane life. Noises up in the roof of where he works.
It's a rat, isn't it, or mice, or something he was saying.
I thought it was a cat.
Was it a cat? Oh, of course it was the cat.
Find out at the end of the film,
Yeah, of course it was the cat.
Okay, so is this the father-in-law's company, Michael Ironside?
Certainly is.
Yeah,
Certainly is. Yep.
because that's the one on the left is the brother of the wife, brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother-in-law.
What's the brother-in-law saying here? Just basically saying you're a pussy, isn't it? You can have. Well, I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah, he gives him a gun.
Yeah.
Gives him a gun.
Just pull
Yeah,
a
he says he
fucking
wants
gun
his
out on
sister protected. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming all of us have met people like him that thinks they know it all and they can you know pretty much protect anyone.
Okay. The chat is saying it's the cat. Yes. Andy. Yeah, Andy Mouse. Andy Mouse. 1, 2, 3. It's the cat. Andy would know. Happy on. No, it's the cat. Happy on. Tell him to protect his sister.
Yeah, it gives him the gun.
Ian, as a filmmaker, is this competently shot?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
yeah, I quite like it.
I mean, Better Call Saul looks 10 times better than this, obviously. Yeah. But this, it's competently shot. It looks like it was shot very fast.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong about that.
The gun was put into the refrigerator because he didn't want anything to do with it, did he?
Well, until he used it at the end.
Yeah. So, you know this man, don't you?
Oh, Mr. Michael Ironside, who's put on a crap load of weight.
I know.
I didn't recognise him at first. Yeah, I thought that's never Michael Ironside. And I heard his voice and thought, shit, it is him.
Yeah.
What a great actor.
Obviously we remember him from Scanners and
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
V.
My kids, my sister's kids, only know his voice in that computer game. I can't remember the computer game he was in. What was it called?
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell.
So they know his voice through Splinter Cell.
Yeah. Dark Side.
Like him? Yeah, I like.
Oh yeah,
like
big fan.
Great actor, isn't
he? Yeah, terrific. He adds a menace. Well, Total Recall. He adds a level of menace to any production he's in. That he can convey. A real sense of menace and just ill intent in every scene he's in.
He does, and he's a very nice person in real life. In the film that I got hired to direct, he played the sheriff of the town, and he wasn't a bad guy, but he was very good in it. And he's a lot of fun. He actually threw us a party. We would do night shoots, and he brought all this beer for the crew. Really nice man, really nice guy. So there you go.
And the Mouse, Total Recall, yeah.
Yeah. See at the party, Victor. Yeah. I thought it was Victor, but somebody told me it's Richter. That was his name in the film.
Here you go, Atom Gray. Hello, Atom. Wow, Michael Ironside looks as rough as I do these days. Same here, mate. Yeah. Genuine love for this actor. I just think he's fantastic.
Yes, he's a good chap.
Obviously, it's his company, isn't it? So, I think he wants to retire, doesn't he?
Yeah, but what's his name? Can't offer him enough for the company. He's offered him because he says in a conversation that he's offered him money in the past for it, and he's rejected it because it's not enough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so it looks like some form of metalworking company or something.
I think it's glass. They do glass or something. Yeah. I can't remember what it was.
So there's VHS radio in the office.
And see, this isn't explained either until towards the end.
Radio on, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's talking to his brother, and it's not explained why his brother's in hiding. It's not explained how he's connected to, how his ordinary work is connected to this. Do you know what I mean? None of this is explained at all.
Don't know if you guys know his brother.
Well, he's adopted brother.
An associate.
No, it's his adopted brother because there's a picture.
Okay. Right.
There's a picture of them all, isn't there? In Chris Lloyd's place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that bit.
Okay. So this is where So yes, the RZA. So this is where he's saying what happened. This is with what Ian said. This is where we get to find out what happened the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Is this clever film making, Ian?
Not really. It's been done before. It's just a flashback, really, and he explains that the gun didn't have any bullets. That's the reason why he didn't attack, whatever. But the question is, how does his adopted brother know that happened? You see, these things are not explained. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Well, there'll be a police report, and I suppose, the inference we can draw is that his brother is connected to, agencies and will have access to any sort of local police report that's been filed. I mean,
the barber.
Yeah, the barber.
Yeah,
Colin Salmon bloke,
that's the beauty, though. is that the things that it leaves unexplained, we can draw inferences from, we can fill in. They're not giant head-shaking Ryan Johnson type, what? They're not things like that. And that's the beauty of this film, is that I mean, there's lots of setup and payoff in it, particularly, as you were saying, offering money to the father-in-law for the company, because that comes back later. But yeah, there is intelligence in the writing of this film.
Is this film assuming that the audience are intelligent enough, or perhaps?
Do you know, Tarantino said something that made sense to me. He was talking about how he writes his scripts, and he said people keep asking him about Brad Pitt's character in that Bastards film that he made. He's got like a scar on his neck, in the film, and people keep asking him, where did that scar come from? And he says if he explains where it comes from, then basically it takes another movie in your head away. Like, for instance, in Pulp Fiction, when they open the case, you don't see what's in the case, right? And he says the reason why he doesn't explain that is because you can make up a movie about that in your head. And if he told you what was in there, then that movie is gone in your head. So that's the reason why he doesn't explain it. And it's the same thing in this. We're assuming now that the barber told his adopted brother. But that might not be the case. That's the movie that we're forming in our head.
Because we've seen it a couple of times to put two and two together. Andy Mouse says the lack of exposition is its strength.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
If it's assuming the audience have got intelligence, and my point is, if this was Disney Star Wars, you would be getting the accompanying novelization of Princess Leia floating through space and how she opened the door to get in or something. Yeah.
Well, as I said, right, it leaves it open for you to add whatever you want to add to it, And as I said, there's lots of unanswered, but it doesn't look. Even if people don't get it, they will still enjoy the film because of the level of entertainment, basic entertainment it has in it. Do you know what I mean?
Here you go, Appion's on fire tonight. The mystery is richer than the answer.
Exactly, and that's what Tarantino was actually saying. That he was saying that the mystery in your head, you're creating another film connected to my film. Why would he take that away from you? You know what I mean?
Well done, Appion. That's top draw, mate. Well done.
Well said.
So he's going to see the old fella to get the
his daddy.
Yeah.
But also, right, what's interesting is that they set up the person that's meant to be looking after the facility, he's asleep. So when the other scene happens, you know how they got in. Foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. It's called. Yes. Foreshadowing. It's called. Yeah.
My brain stopped working, and I do apologize. So he's going to see the old fella, make his tea, or warm it up in the microwave.
That's right. Money. There's the picture.
Really poo-poo Photoshop.
I don't know. It looks all right.
So
I think it looks okay.
So is that his real dad? And obviously the other child is adopted.
Yeah. So basically, that picture speaks 1,000 words. Once you see that picture, you realise that he has an adopted brother, but you don't realise that that's the person that he's speaking to on the radio.
Yeah. So both of them have all three of them have got a special skill set.
They do indeed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
there's Connie looking fuckable.
Easy, Tiger. Son's still pissed off.
Of course.
Nice to hear the birds, Romeo.
Yeah, well, it took me ages to arrange for them to just be in it at various times. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes there. She's 57, Connie Nielsen. She looks fantastic, statuesque.
You're joking.
57.
She looks fantastic in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's very fit. She's a very fit woman. I don't mean it in a sexual way. I mean exercise wise.
Yeah.
They all do it in
Oh.
LA. They all obsessed with body perfection.
Well,
All the actors.
for 57, she's
Good genes.
fantastic. Yeah.
Good genes. She's Danish. Very tall.
There you go. That's it. Yeah. There you go.
Is it Levi's or is it Wranglers?
Uh,
Oh.
I did like the child. She was quite amusing.
He took my
What was it? She's lost the what was it?
kitty cat bracelet.
Yeah. And it's just like,
Well, that's what
boom,
makes him turn around and go.
triggered.
Yeah, that triggered him.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it
kind of
wasn't
like the
sun.
straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. Animals 1, 2, 3. I'd do it. Who wouldn't? And then Andy goes, kitty bracelet.
Yeah.
Where is the goddamn kitty cat bracelet?
Yeah.
Apion says that's a favourite line from the film.
Because that was in the trailer, wasn't it? That's what I remember seeing the trailer and thinking, oh, so that's what the film's about. Because kind of like John Wick, he's just pissed off that his dog got killed. Whereas, like, oh, is this just like he's just because his daughter's heartbroken, so therefore he's going to go on a revenge mission? But it's not that at all, is it?
It's a really good trailer, but the problem is they sell you a different film. Like there's a line in it that the barber doesn't even say in the movie. The barber in the trailer, he says, your what is it? Your competitor realizes that you've been resurrected, and there are certain debts you have to pay. And they show the clip where he smashes the car and he takes the money out of the jukebox thing and stuff like that. And it's got nothing to do with the story in the actual film itself, but they sell it like he's an ordinary person, and he has money and he faked his death. That's what the trailer was saying, and that wasn't the case in the movie at all.
Maybe they trimmed it down a little.
Maybe there are lots of bits that are floating around on YouTube clips that that wasn't in the main film. So there you go.
This is where
I'm quite glad that the trailer was different to the final movie because I was expecting a different movie, and I prefer the movie I got from the one I expected.
That's good.
This is where he goes to get his father's old FBI credentials, isn't it?
Yeah, and the gun.
Yeah,
which he doesn't use.
Very, very old badge.
Mm.
Does he put bullets in? I don't think he does he?
He does. He does. Okay. He puts bullets in it. Are you okay? Because you don't look okay. He says to him.
Has Christopher Lloyd still got it, Richard? What do you reckon?
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the clever things about this film is casting quality actors like Michael Ironside, like Christopher Lloyd, like Con Nielsen, even in the smaller roles.
Yeah.
That just lifts the production. Something Nolan does too, casting really quality actors, even in small parts. And the production really benefits from it, I think.
Yeah, when you can afford them.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Give me Genesis!
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe that's the same bloke, would you?
He's a good actor. Even at this age, he's a terrific actor. He really is. Okay, thing is, though, he's earned our respect. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no, I thought it was got to be a bit sort of old and doddery and a bit Patrick Stewarty, and I thought, oh no, he's not going to make any sense. Especially, I think it was the situation he's in. He's in an old folks' home, etc., in a care home, and he's being, obviously he has care assist. And you think, oh, he's just going to be this doddery old guy. And I like this. I like the switch round. It's great.
Yeah.
Here you go. Andy says, bet they enjoyed making this movie. Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah,
It's a lot of hard work though when you make action stuff as well, because when you come to professional shoots, there are a lot of things you can't do. For instance, right, you have to have someone that knows about safety when you're doing a fight on the bus or any kind of shooting and stuff like that, because things can go wrong, as proven with Alec Baldwin's movie. Do you know what I mean? So it's intense, but it's also very enjoyable as well. But also, it's the hours are so long when you shoot a film like this. You get tired and accidents happen. So yeah.
Okay, so he's going to find out where that that tattoo, who did the tattoo, which tattoo artist drew it. So he's obviously going around with his credentials.
Hmm.
Going around several places.
Yeah, it looks freezing.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
the
you go.
last
Atom
stop,
Gray,
isn't it?
night shoots are exhausting. I bet they are.
They are. They are. Been on a few.
Yeah. This was a weird scene, especially with this guy.
Well, the thing is, that guy must know about the organization that he's part of. So, and that's the reason why he freaked out. Yeah. And then once he freaked out, everybody realized who they were dealing with, and then they all backed off.
The shop owner's taken exception, so he's getting the knuckle dusters out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the boys in the background.
Yeah, they're willing to smack him around until the old guy says, "Oh, thank you for your service. Bye. I'm leaving." Yeah.
There we go. The tattoo.
Yeah. His face.
Because he just leaves.
Yeah, because obviously he knows what he's capable of, and he's quite scared.
I'm off. Romeo, good scene. Do you think with him just leaving?
Not bad. It does the trick. It sets up. It creates a sort of a question in our minds. Well, what does he know? I think the tattoo, as someone may have mentioned earlier in the chat, was a reference to Vietnam, or at least perhaps a military reference.
Yeah.
That he has a military. But I mean, we find out later he was an assassin for the CIA, but perhaps that's a military reference in terms of the tattoo itself. And the guy who was a veteran then sees it, and again, this is showing, not telling. He doesn't have to tell us, exactly what he knows. He just shows us that this is someone to be feared, and I think it's clever.
Yeah, because the shop owner is just totally on board now, isn't he?
Yeah, I've read some reviews on this, and there are some reviews that go the other way and say it's it doesn't explain itself, therefore it gets a minus. And then there are other reviews that says it's really good because it that's what I'm saying. So it's the reviews were kind of my as you would say. But I'm fairly on the side of it's a really good movie.
Negative reviews from people who want spoon feeding swappers?
Yeah, I think so. Audiences are just too lazy, aren't they, to work things out and to have their brain engaged. I think they're so used to being spoon-fed crap, leaving the brain at the door, etc., that when they actually do watch a thinking person's movie and have to make a little bit of have to actually make a little bit of effort. It comes a bit strangely to them, and it's kind of waking their brain up, and it's just like, I can't be arsed with this. And because of that, they just automatically give it a negative mark, which is sad, really.
But even if they do question it, there's still enough in the film to make them forget about the questions and just enjoy the ride. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's great about this movie, that it finds the balance between a little bit of intelligence and your normal action movie, basically. So
this is where he's gone into the apartment of the people who broke in. So it's just a couple, isn't it?
Yeah, they were desperate for money because they had a kid, and the kid was sick, and so
because I think he was going to really probably bust him up bad.
Yeah,
because he lost his shit, didn't he? Because he broke into his house.
And this is the reason why he so once he realized there was nothing he could do to this couple because of their situation, he gets really angry, doesn't he? And that's what leads to the next scene.
Yeah,
but he needed to get it out.
They needed money for the kid who's on a respirator. Yeah. So he leaves.
Gets really angry, smacks the wall up.
Romeo, you ever done this? Smacking your fist
Well,
on the wall?
punched a wall in anger. As a younger man, probably. For no good reason at all. I think we've all done that from time to time, or at least, yeah. When you're younger, frustration is something that you take out in a physical way, and as you get a bit older, not so much. But this is heightened reality. This film, so yeah, it works. I liked it. I mean, go on. Sorry, Ian.
And I was just saying, at least they didn't do the old trope when people get angry in movies. They always clear their desk, throw something off their desk or something, don't they? Always, for some reason. Don't know why, but there you go. Punching the wall seems better.
Is this where he's doing a narration?
Yeah, he does. He does a bit of narration.
And then it's just like, he's obviously on this bus.
Mm.
And then he starts talking about these idiots.
No, he starts talking about them when they get on, I think.
Yeah.
As I recall. Does he? I can't remember. I think he starts talking to them.
Yeah.
Because the music starts playing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, you might be right, because it starts off when they get on the bus, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like slow-mo or something.
Yeah, I think last time I saw this was about a month ago, and I just can't remember the line exactly, but it was just kind of effectively never look a gift horse in the mouth or something. I can't remember, but... And then they just, here we go.
Well, they crash their car, don't they?
Yeah.
And then they get on the bus because they're all drunk. And then there's that big guy that's sitting opposite them, and he stands up, and he's scared of them, even though he towers over them, and he gets off the bus, doesn't he?
Yeah. Because I think he references the young girl who's alone as well on the bus.
Yeah. And then he walks past them all, doesn't he? And while the music's playing, and then he turns around and shuts the door, or tells the driver to get out. I can't remember. I think he tells the driver to get out.
Here we go.
It's a line about hospital food.
Yeah, we'll preempt this. Andy Mouse, I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously the young girl will be worried. She goes with no alcohol. Yeah. I will say, very difficult to get these fight scenes because it's just everything's just blur.
Oh yeah.
Tim Hannibom. Hello, Tim. Mispronounces me. What's the running time at this point? Pass.
Something like, I don't know, 30 minutes in?
Yeah.
I think it's 30 minutes in or something like that.
That's the stunt coordinator, isn't it?
Yeah, that's him.
I think Daniel Bernhardt was in The Matrix Reloaded. I think
was.
he's the agent that Lawrence Fishburne fights on top of the bus or on top of the truck. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's Swiss, I think, but has done a lot of Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
He's that fellow that's looking into the shot right now.
Yeah.
He took a whole year to train Bob. So.
I think he's in the narration, the voiceover. He's saying something about this girl wants me to help her or something, or I can't remember exactly. But
I think he was saying something like, please, please. He was saying, please let it happen because I really need to let the beast out or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what he was literally saying. He really wanted them to take a pop so we can actually because he's angry. Remember, he's angry that he couldn't do anything with the couple. So now all that anger is spilling out in this scene for him, isn't it? So
here you go. Hello, Jacob. Jacob Ironside in the chat says, best scene in the whole movie. It's great.
It's a good scene. They did publicize this scene a lot, though, didn't they, before the movie was released?
Yeah.
So
I remember when this movie was released, there are, I think, a trauma surgeon.
I saw that.
Went through this scene by scene.
Yeah.
And apparently it's very he was saying the fight coordinator who choreographed this fight, it's on the money. Very, very well choreographed.
I like the idea that when he gets hit, he slams his head up against when he gets punched, he slams his head up against the thing, doesn't he? And he gets hurt as well. I like that
apparently
idea.
that was his little gag, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so next set of slides.
She looks like my next door neighbour, that bus driver. Yeah, my other next door neighbour. Yeah.
We will go through these slides at haste because it's just the big fight scene, isn't it?
And they did it on a real bus as well.
Yeah.
It's not like a studio or anything like that. And it looks bloody freezing.
It does. Is this where he says, "I'm going to fuck you up"?
Yeah, well, we could have shot him, but he just empties his gun.
He just drops the bullets, doesn't he? Yeah.
I was thinking at the time, why doesn't he just put one through their legs or something and knock them out? Because he doesn't want to kill them, does he?
No, he wants to let his anger out, as I said, because of what happened with the couple. He couldn't do anything, so now he can do something with the anger, which is to teach
about him venting his frustration.
Yeah.
There you go, Andy. You're welcome. I'm gonna fuck you up. Yeah. Because they just look at him, don't they? And they just start pissing themselves. Yeah. Yeah. So
but he gets punched first, though.
Folks. Yeah.
He gets punched by the black guy.
Yeah.
I like how it's not over the top, and he's not like doing a kung fu job on the bus. He's not doing a Keanu Reeves in the Matrix. It is quite realistic, and it's not over sped up either. It's a good sort of realistic pace.
Well, I wouldn't go as fast to say realistic. I wouldn't go as fast to say it's realistic. I would say it's really well choreographed, and it makes sense connected to who he is. Because obviously, as you say, he can't do kung fu, like roundhouses and stuff like that. But they actually get him to do things that are credible for his character, if you know what I mean. So,
well, it shows consequences.
Yeah,
there are consequences. To being struck by someone, to being stabbed by someone, to hitting your head on a wall. There are consequences for all there's damage occurring. So there are stakes. There's tension, right?
Yeah.
I will say after the stream at some point, I will have a look for the trauma surgeon who goes through this scene by scene, and I'll put it in the description so you can have a look later. It's great.
Because he takes hits as well. It does add that sense of like shit. He can really get hurt here. There is, you're not thinking that he's some super cop that can just beat everybody. You really do think shit, anything could happen in this moment.
There's a scene. There's a bit in this. There's a bit in this fight. What looks like they forgot to shoot the girl, because there's that scene in it where you can tell it's been dubbed. Get out of here, and then she just kind of enters frame and exits the bus. So I'm assuming that they forgot to shoot her getting up and him saying to her, "Get out of here." So anyway, that's a minor quibble, I guess.
Yeah, the as I said, the trauma video said that when he got smacked in the solar plexus and he went down here, he would have kind of been out of it for a few seconds. So everything in this is so accurate.
Well, not that accurate. If you got smacked in the face like that by someone as big as the stunt guy, you would never get up,
though, isn't he? He's got training.
No, but you wouldn't get up, mate. I'm telling you.
Well,
I've seen fights.
Depends how much rage you've got. Some people can naturally take a good hiding.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it
Welsh people. Yeah.
Yeah, I would call
Richard?
it. Yeah. Well, part of being Welsh is learning
Welsh
to do
and
good
Scottish.
I would call it. I wouldn't call it a realistic. I would call it semi-realistic. Do you know what I mean? Because in real life, it wouldn't be so choreographed like that. There'd be a big scramble. Everybody be steaming in stuff like. I've seen real fights, and it's not like this. Let me tell you. But yeah. But it's good though. It's enjoyable, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Here you go, Tim. I like saying this, Hannibal. Mr. Brown is tough as nails. Would get up. Well, I would, but not. Well, I would, but not immediately.
If someone hit you as hard as that in the face, you're losing a tooth. You really are, especially if they hit you at the side. Sorry, what's that? You haven't got any. Oh, no.
Now this I did like. He gets his wristwatch to use as a weapon. Swappers, did you like this bit? Using it as a weapon?
Yeah, well, I wasn't sure if he was putting it on his wrist or putting it over his knuckles. I couldn't quite tell. But I guess you would in that
Over his
situation. I
knuckles.
mean, he uses
Yeah.
he's good at improvising, so I guess I wouldn't rule it out. But this is the moment he collapses on the seat. The seat falls to the floor, and we realise how bad he's actually hurt, don't we?
Yeah. Time Profit, hello, Time Profit. I have been hit in the face. I still have all my teeth.
Depends.
I
how
think
you
it
get
depends
hit,
who
though.
hits you.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, this is for the chat. Who's been hit in violence? Who's been attacked?
I have.
I have. Yeah. Richard,
Same.
have you been attacked?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've also done some fight sports, so
In
my
so,
youth,
so we shall
so
we
I've boxed
say,
and stuff. So
have you been attacked in real life? I have.
I have once
when I was a teenager. Yeah.
gosh, not recently.
Not recently for me either.
Just wait.
I think
till
I'd run.
life gets you, mate. Yeah.
I think I'd run.
There you go. Atom Gray, he has. Happy on, yeah. Andy, yeah.
I got knocked out once. That was fun.
Oh, there you go. I think it's coming out, folks. The uninspired reviewer. I've done the hitting. Bad lad. You bad lad. Andy
Might have been
Mouse.
you then. That knocked me out.
Andy, I was by a big cunt. Here you go, Time Profit. The guy who did it ended up hitting a wall and almost knocked out. As I was doing judo at the time. Oh, okay. Jacob, he's been slapped in the face. Oh my God! Here you go. Atom Gray. I got knocked out by a 2x4 once. Shit. I will say, uninspired reviewer. Yes. Make love, not war. Yeah.
It's true. But sometimes you just got to stand up for yourself.
Anyway.
You do, but discretion is also the better part of valor.
Absolutely.
There you go. Atom Gray still got the scar. Yeah. Okay, so this is the big stuntman going, oh fuck. You can just see him thinking, oh my God, what's next?
Well, he's more skilled than them. They can throw punches and they can kick and stab people, but he's more skilled, as you can see when he
pulls the knife out,
Yeah, towards the end of this fight, he takes 3 of them on and he takes them out with precision. So, yeah.
Uninspired says, you do have to stand up, so I did. Well done, mate.
Yeah. Then I got knocked down when I stood up.
Depends if you get depends if you get up again.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is good. This is a good scene because he's obviously got the knife and the guy's trying to get it off him. So they're struggling.
Yeah, a bit CGI there.
And then he just flicks the knife back and goes down his forearm. It's like, oh.
No, he turns the knife and he cuts him.
He brings it back. He brings the knife back, doesn't he? It's like, oh.
And cuts his He's on his arm.
I think on that on that fight video, it says all the techniques used are top draw. So very, very accurate.
When he smacks him in the face, though, about 4 times. 4 times. Yeah. Knocks his teeth out.
Sticks it in his leg. Oh, this bit here.
And he kicks it in.
I was winning throughout this entire fight scene. I was just, the whole thing. I was just going, all the way through it because it feels very visceral and very real. The camera angles and everything really help as well.
I think the saying, "This would bring tears to a glass eye," is very appropriate.
Glass eye.
Yeah. So let's just go through these. Yeah. So he's tying the guy up.
Nice bit of comedy there.
Yeah. Secret comedy.
but they push him through the window.
Yeah.
I love the bit where he gets up and the bus driver, he just says, "Wait a moment." And he goes back in. He goes back in to take him on. It's quite fun.
There you go, Appion. You feel
he falls out.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh shit, that's a hell of a hit, and he hits the floor, and he's obviously in a lot of pain after the stab wound and everything else. And you think, shit, he's not going to get it, and then he just like walks it off, doesn't he? Like brushes himself off and just goes back in for more. It's so good, and then it's even better, I think, when he goes back in.
Yeah.
So they're saying to each other, "How bad is it?" Very bad.
Yeah,
because he's saying he's knocked all his teeth out. So he's outside. 1 minute. And they're just looking at him.
Yeah, that was really good. He just put his finger up. That's all it was needed, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And as I'm saying, he goes in there and they just can't believe he's come back for more because they're all spent, aren't they? So yeah.
So it looks like the seatbelt or something. It tells the girl to leave. And she goes, "Thank you."
Yes, I'm saying. I just got a feeling that they forgot to shoot her. So they just added. Yeah, because you can see it's a dub, isn't it? When he says, "Get out of here." He's not even, his back's turned towards us. So.
And this is where he just goes, here you go, Appion, round 2, fight!
Yeah.
Just loses his fucking shit now, doesn't he?
But then after all that, he basically saves the guy's life.
Hangs him.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, emergency tracheotomy.
Yeah, because he didn't want to kill them, did he? He didn't want to actually...
No.
Yeah, he didn't want to kill them. He kind of just wanted to teach them a lesson.
So the guy's going to shoot him.
But he just... you know how hard it is to pull one of those out?
Well, he's raging though, isn't he?
Yeah. He just smacks him in the... takes the gun out and then smacks him in the throat, doesn't he?
Richard's a big lad. I'm sure he could do that.
Sure. Not a chance. Big lad, not me. But it's been knocked loose earlier in the fight, like it's been knocked loose in the mounting.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a little bit of setup there.
So
nice improvised weapon.
Yeah, so he fires the gun, he misses, and then whack.
He doesn't miss it. He hits the gun and so the gun fires off target, and then he smacks him in the neck with the thingy. But then, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say here you go, Time Prophet. Here we go. Tracheotomy.
Yes.
Yeah, tracheotomy.
Yeah. The trauma surgeon said this part is very, very accurate, but he said the skill needed to put to cut the throat and put the straw in is probably a little bit borderline. But he says, it's it's spot on, this.
Yeah, but he's probably an expert at doing that because obviously he used to work with the CIA, so he's probably knows how to do it. So.
He's done it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you like this scene, Swappers, first time you saw it? No.
A moment of deep contemplation.
Yes. Swappers, were you into this?
Maybe his thing's not working.
I tell you, I love the entire thing. And when the guy went down, and he was choking. I just thought, "Oh, you're not gonna, are you? You're not gonna." And he did. And the knife comes out, and I just couldn't look. I couldn't look at this because you know what's gonna happen.
There you go.
And I'm terrible. I'm fine with watching people getting stabbed and punched and whatever, and getting a glass in the face. But when it comes to like needles and precision instruments, I just I can't. I just can't look. Even though I know it's not real, it's just it's nasty. And it's kind of like that scene in Pulp Fiction, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
And but it was great. I thought it was great.
Very, very good skills, yeah. Is that the phone? Giving the phone back to the bus driver?
I can't remember, but he decides to walk home.
He just walked off the injuries,
Decides to go home. even though he's got, I mean, the stab wasn't too bad because it was at his side and it's the fleshy part of his, wasn't it? So it wasn't that bad.
Okay,
he was lucky.
Yeah. Okay. So the wife is has known he's kind of lost his shit. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the wife kind of knows what he used to do. And
look at her. She's a surgeon there with super glue. Yeah, look at her.
Super glue.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think so. The question is, does she know? Did she knew what he did in the past, or didn't she? And I come to the conclusion after watching this like 3 times. I think she did know, but she didn't want to know. If you know what I mean. So
the bit at the very end.
Yeah,
the bit at the very end kind of gives it away a little bit.
Super glue. Yeah. Which, as we know, superglue was invented by the military for such events.
Yeah.
Good at sticking flesh, but not actually good at sticking the stuff you want it to stick. But moving on. This is where he's kind of opening his heart a little bit by saying you're distant all the time, if I remember correctly. They've not made love in, what is it, months or years? I can't remember. She's upset. So I think we go to bed. Obviously, you can see the pillow.
Yeah, but she's contemplating, isn't she? She's contemplating. You know, he's thinking that he's right, and maybe I should make a move. And he was asleep.
Tim says because he snores. He snores badly.
Yeah.
I thought this. Jacob says, "What if they were both in the CIA?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're creating another
Great
film
point.
connected to this film, so that's the beauty of it, I guess.
Yeah. Perhaps they met in the CIA.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. But we don't know, do we?
I didn't like these bits, but it was all right. I just thought it was a bit silly.
Is this Act 2 now?
Yes.
Okay. Julian.
The middle bit.
I like it when he just gets out of his Range Rover. He just doesn't give a shit, does he?
No.
So
it kind of it's a good little bit of a character setup, isn't it?
Yeah. Just doesn't give a shit, does he?
No.
There were lots of.
Reminded me a little bit of that in your.
Say again, Swappers, you're breaking up, mate.
Sorry. Yeah, so the stream's like breaking up completely for me. I might have to like drop out and drop back in again. It just reminded me when I was watching Rebecca Gold when Rebecca you get introduced to her in Ian's series. When the guy who's like profiling her just says you're late, and she just says you're old, and it's like it's very, very simplistic about how you introduce character, but it tells you so much. And this is very similar in this scene when he jumps out of the Range Rover and just walks across the down, doesn't give a shit about anything.
Doesn't give a shit.
Gets off the bar, sniffs some coke, gets on stage. You kind of like, okay, it's telling me an awful lot about this character without like one word. Really, I thought it was quite good.
Yeah,
but he likes singing.
He does.
Yeah. So this is a big mob meeting, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's obvious that everybody's kind of looking at him, and it's well. The thing is, though, I think it's obvious that he's. Oh, I know why they're all, because he was looking after the op shack, wasn't he? And all their money was in the op shack.
Yes.
So that's why they were all being nice to him, I guess. It's kind of like a bank.
Yeah. The kind of chief launderer, I suppose.
Yeah. Black Russian.
Badass though.
Yeah.
I just love it.
That's why the karaoke segment. The karaoke segment works well because at first you think, oh, he's a little bit of a clown. But then in shortly thereafter, he establishes that he's actually a very serious and dangerous person. So we have a little bit more of a sense of him as a person, as a character.
So he breaks the cocktail glass and just smashes it in one of the bouncers or the mob, the henchman's face, just to prove a point. And then he smashes his head down on the table.
He says, "Have you any idea who that is? Who that was?"
And breaks his neck. Yeah. That's a serious...
I think that the director who directed this was Russian as well, wasn't he?
Yes.
The director who directed this, yeah.
Ilya Naishuller. Apparently a musician, apparently. I don't know how he got into directing films. Here you go, Appion, no fucks given face. Yeah. Proper badass.
Yeah, he's a really good actor. I like this guy.
Yeah. And then a few seconds later, they're all saluting him. Is this where he gets the phone call? Is it his son or nephew? I can't remember.
I think it's his son. I'm not sure. Actually, no. Yeah, I think. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
They're related, aren't they? Anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the chat will know. Is it his son or the nephew? I can't remember. Could be grandson. I don't know. So these are all the people from the bus.
I like when he chucks the chair around the guy.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
He just walks through the lobby, doesn't he? Picks up a chair and you think, what does he need a chair for? And the next
What do
scene.
you mean like this?
Oh, shit.
Just fucking picks the chair up.
It's quite funny.
Just
He hits him in the face.
He just throws it.
Appion says younger brother, I think.
Yeah, it might be the brother.
Tim, I like saying this, Annabom, shot here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Wow.
Oh, cool. I wonder why it looks cold.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually filmed in Winnipeg, Tim. I thought they started in California and then shifted to Winnipeg, which will be just as cold, if not colder than Halifax.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He's trying to get out of him what happened and then just smash the fucking chair over his head again.
Yeah.
And then this guy,
black guy, yeah,
says, "I might know who it is."
Yeah, because he's got his Metro card.
Metro card, yeah.
Yeah, great moment. That I like that.
Okay, Atom Gray, thank you, Atom. Chat was referring to another show. Yeah, here you go. Halifax is Lex. Okay.
Gosh, there's a blast from the past.
Yeah. So obviously this kind of, foreshadowing with the card several times at the beginning, yeah?
Well, that's not foreshadowing, that's just information.
Oh, okay.
Foreshadowing means if they show you something that you're not quite clear why they're showing it, and then in the future in the film it shows you why it's been shown.
Oh, right, okay.
It's called foreshadowing, yeah.
Appion, yeah, here we go. The Metro card payoff. Setup and payoff. So we're back to... So as far as he's concerned, he's over it now, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's been stabbed, been punched, he's still running.
Yeah.
He's all right.
It's almost like the beast has been let out of its cage for a while, and everything's happy again now.
Well, his son isn't happy.
Well, he's not now. And then he gets the phone call, doesn't he?
From his brother. Because his brother hears everything for some reason. explain to him that he's in trouble. He better watch
because
out.
this will all be
But
going
he's
through the
supposed to phone
barber's
down him.
shop, won't it?
Yeah, the barber would probably have gotten
Yeah.
to know. Yeah.
There you go. Go see the barber.
Mr. Menzel, he says.
Yeah. Colin
It
I
really
do
does
like
fit
this
in with the
actor.
John Wick, doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Colin Salmon's a great actor. He was
He
great
is.
in some of the Brosnan Bond films.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Touted as the first black Bond for a while.
He was really. I met him in real life. He's really tall.
Yeah.
He's like 6 foot, and then some.
Great actor's voice.
Mm.
Getting on a bit now, though.
Yeah, he is, but still looks good though.
So this is where he's
Really
telling
does, yeah.
Hutch. This is where he's telling Hutch who he's messed with, and is bad. Yeah.
He tells him about the upshack, how he knows that he wants out of this business.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to be there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How he looks after all the mob's money and all that stuff.
So we're getting his backstory now, effectively.
Yeah. A bit, yeah.
Yeah. Richard, did you like this backstory of what he is?
Yeah, well, it filled in enough detail to make it, accessible and enjoyable without giving us too much exposition. I mean, the film's only 90 odd minutes long, so it doesn't derail its pacing with overlong exposition. It gives us just enough to get an idea of what's happening, who the players are, and then advance the story. But I mean, some films, they really indulge in long exposition pauses, and it derails the momentum of the film, whereas this one doesn't. So yeah, I think it was really well done.
This is where we get the Metro card information.
Get that hacker.
Yeah.
Get the hacker to hack in. And she sends a blackmail package, doesn't she, to someone at the CIA?
Yeah, I had
quite
to do
funny.
I had to do a bit of photoshopping. So we go to the Pentagon. I've had to blur all that out. Don't want to upset the YouTube gods, do we? So this is where I think we see Jeff Bezos doing a bit of moonlighting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Moving on.
But he goes down, doesn't he? He goes down to the depths and gets the file out. Yeah. Sorry, what did you laugh at just now?
I like that bit. She says, "I've got a friend in the Pentagon."
Yeah. So we're still getting the kind of story of what's going on. It's just all money laundering, isn't it?
Yeah, Russians counting the money. Look how much money's there.
Oh.
Bloody hell.
Could you make Rebecca Gold with that?
I think I could make several. Look at the blocks of money, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where we find out that he doesn't really want to be there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Richard, do you think just by that shot you can tell he just doesn't want to be there?
Well, it's the voiceover too, remember?
Yeah, there's the resigned look in his face of like, this is in fact it's sort of a neat parallel to the main character who is also trapped in sort of a dead end job that he doesn't like. I mean that's perhaps when we first meet Julian and he's doing the karaoke and he's playing the clown and having a good time. He's expressing himself in those little bits of joy that he can get out of life because his real existence as the guardian of the Op Shack is a really confined one. It's a powerful position, but a position with tremendous responsibility.
Yeah.
And he's quite resigned to it.
Bezos is going to the depths of Amazon. Just photocopies.
And he just finds out that they're in trouble.
With everything's redacted.
Because the file's called Nobody, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
here you go, Jim D. Hello, Jim. People still using cash. Yes, and I would thoroughly recommend that everybody still use cash where they can. Be a sad day when we go cashless. Then they will know everything what you buy. Don't do it.
They already know that. They already know it.
Yeah. So she's getting the information back, and she just goes, "Fuck this." Sorry, Swappers, I talked over them. Sorry, mate.
No, I just
got the
sorry,
information.
I was just about the cashless thing. I just said
yeah. There's a very, very wicked delay on your line.
Maybe come out and go and come back in again, Matt.
Swappers, you get your VPN on, mate. That's a no. Swappers. Oh, he's rebooting. He will be back in a moment. This is where the girl just goes, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
you don't have to pay me. And she's off.
Because she knows that this is the trouble. And she didn't want to be part of it.
Yeah. Was this good way? When this happened, it was obviously think, oh, right, okay, this is serious shit. Yeah? Did we think that?
Well, I mean, I just thought that this is interesting. What kind of a person is he now? You know, and what does the implications mean when she, you know, she doesn't even want to get paid for this information. She wants out. So, you know, so it was quite interesting at that point.
Who's he ringing here? I can't remember.
He's ringing the boys to go and get him, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so
bring him back alive. They want him alive.
Okay, so Hutch is preparing the favourite lasagna, which he hasn't made for a long, long time.
Love lasagna.
Yeah.
And that looks absolutely awesome. It's making me feel hungry now.
Yeah. And are they? I think they talk about going to Italy.
Italy, yeah.
And they say we can't afford not to. Yeah.
This follows the scene where he's like, "Everybody get in the basement."
Yeah.
I don't even know if they knew that thing was on the wall when he pulled it off the wall.
Yeah.
I don't know what they knew.
Time Profit. This doesn't surprise me at all. Can't stand lasagna.
Oh, I like lasagna. I think it's nice, especially when it's made really well.
There you go. Uninspired favourite dish.
Especially when it's hot and it comes straight out of the oven. Ugh, lovely.
Annie Mouse, rest in peace, Carl Clone, indeed.
Lasagna is good. Lasagna is very good.
Yeah.
Especially homemade.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So he sees through the blinds. Right, we'll speed this up because we'll be here all night at this rate. So the boys have been sent round because they got the information from the bus pass. And he knows.
He says, "Everybody get in the basement." Are we playing some kind of game? Says the little girl.
Yeah.
When he kisses her, she really does feel it, doesn't she?
Yeah.
When he kisses her, you know. You know what it is, right? Is his toxic masculinity is basically turning her on. That's what it is, in my opinion. That's what I think that's happening in this movie. Seriously, because remember that bit where he comes home and he's all cut up and everything, and then she removes the separation on the bed, doesn't she? And she touches him, but he's asleep.
Yeah.
So I reckon, yeah, bad boy. Every girl loves a bad boy.
Well, toxic masculinity is a bad thing these days, isn't it?
No, it's a good thing.
I was thinking an awful lot about
lives.
James Cameron's recent statement that he made after making the latest Avatar film. He said he doesn't want to fetishize guns. And I thought, geez, man, this film, I mean, this film doesn't fetishize them in any way, but obviously it's a film that's necessary to have them in it. But Cameron surely picks them, doesn't he? He's like, the amount of films he's done in the past with like, they're all about guns, and now he's talking that he doesn't want to fetishize them. What's the matter with you, man? You make films based around them, yeah?
Well, the thing is, though, he lives in LA, and I'm assuming that his daughters and his wife, they're all into this garbage, as the Americans would say,
Mhm.
and he's just basically agreeing with them and just going along with the wave because he was never like that. I mean, you've just got to look at True Lies, you've got to look at Terminator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Richard, any thoughts on Cameron?
Well, I mean, that's a bit of a turnaround. You look, Terminator 2 would be one of the greatest gun fetish films ever made. It's got a sequence of Arnold just blasting police cars to shreds with a minigun and then a grenade launcher. I mean, come on. And those are the films that, I mean, that and Aliens, the pulse rifle, the iconic weapon from that film.
Yep.
I mean, fetishizing guns is a significant contributor to his career and success. So to turn on that now, it doesn't sit very well with me.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. And Avatar
Agreed.
itself, even the first Avatar, I mean, I haven't seen Way of Water yet, but the first film is a tremendous amount of gunfire and explosions and all the rest. It's a tool, a trope he's employed in his filmmaking career and done very effectively. So for him to turn around and say, "Oh, testosterone's bad," or gunfights in films are bad, it does not sit well with me at all.
It's because he's trying to, as I said, you're in a bubble when you're in LA, and everyone around you saying the same thing. You end up kind of going with the wave, don't you? And that's what I reckon that's happening with him, because there's no way all that rubbish he's saying makes any sense for the films he's done in the past. Absolutely no way.
I will say, if I may,
when he was interviewed, sorry.
No, go on, Swappers.
He was interviewed when he was making Aliens, and he said he actually personally had a massive hand in designing all the weapons for that film.
Yeah.
He said he loves drawing guns, he loves like military equipment and all this sort of stuff. It's all in interviews. You can go back and read it all. It's all out there. And it's like, well, you fucking hypocrite,
He's just trying to stay relevant, I think.
He is, yeah, he is. That's what he's doing.
I would say something that's more important than all of that combined. Andy Mouse, 1, 2, 3. Lidl's lasagna is awesome.
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it. Definitely try it.
Shall we just keep that up for the rest of the stream?
I'll definitely try it.
Top consumer tips with Andy Mouse, 1, 2, 3. Lidl's lasagna is awesome.
Shame it's closed.
Okay,
No,
so
it's
this is
still
where
open. I think it's
some
still
will
open.
be, yes. This is where the squad are going in, and I'm just gonna. This is just all blurs, so we'll go through this as quickly as I can.
There was a woman in that in that ensemble there.
Yes.
It's really weird because I think she was the one that was left. He kicks her through the staircase, doesn't he?
Yes.
And I think she was left there, or maybe she was dead, because she's not in the car with them, is she? Or is she? Is she in the car with them?
I think she'll be in the car later.
All right.
Yeah, she's in the passenger seat in the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
I think we've missed an important thing here, Mr. Brown. I think we need to congratulate the Bratva, the Russian mafia, on its hiring policies, because they not only employ people of color in this film, but women as well.
Yes.
I think that's really commendable that Russian gangsters are taking equity seriously and taking steps to address historic injustices. I think we should give them a round of applause. Well done.
Never met a black Russian before, he says. So there you go.
Very good point, Richard. Well done, mate. I will quickly say again, these streams take about 2 days to put together, and especially the kind of military ones, because it just takes so fucking long to get the muzzle flash scenes for your enjoyment. So anyway, here we go. I think all the flashes are, they're not genuine, are they, these ones?
They look genuine. Actually, they do look genuine because you've got the light in the back. So they might be. I
don't know. I think some of it did look very CGI muzzle flashes.
Yeah, maybe. Hard to tell these days.
Here you go. Hands on everything asks, hello, hands on. How is the drinker not here? That's a very good question. Does anybody know?
I think he's gone to America, isn't he?
I think he's going in a few weeks. Yeah, a few weeks.
Oh, is he? Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he went already.
That is a good question. Perhaps we should ask the drinker, why are you not here, mate? But anyway, moving on.
I think he's probably passed out in a puddle of his own piss at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. He's
Well,
probably
better that
drinking
than
too
someone
much.
else's piss.
Drinking too much.
Great muzzle flashes.
Mm. Bang bang.
Yeah. All the fight scenes are very well choreographed, aren't they?
They are.
I think this is where the black guy attacks him. Just throws a plate at him.
And,
They are really, aren't they? All the fight scenes are so enjoyable in this film.
Yeah.
throws the hot water at him.
Yeah, kettle, yeah. The family are hearing all this going on. Appion says the person who dies in the lasagna. Jeez.
What a way to go.
Yeah. Death by lasagna.
Worst ways.
Yeah. I do enjoy a good muzzle flash. Somebody gets put through the stair case.
Yeah, it's the girl, I think,
Yeah.
that he was trying to, and then he just kicks her through the staircase.
Yeah, here you go, Atom Grey. This fight is too close for combat for real blanks. I'll say, yeah, I'd say, because it looks like there's no recoil when they're firing the gun. It looks like there's no recoil, so I think it's CGI.
Maybe they have guns that actually
I got
blurt
that
out
later on with Christopher Lloyd's gunplay. It didn't look like he was reacting at all to the shots.
Yeah, you go. Time Prophet, blanks from a gun can kill, so they can be just as dangerous as bullets. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're too close to them, they can kill.
Okay, so he's been tasered. He's in the back of the car, and they're driving off. Yeah, this is the girl. The driver says something to the guy in the back, and he puts a gun to his back of his head, doesn't he?
Because he wanted to go to the hospital. Because I think someone was damaged, right? Someone had a can't remember, and he said, "No, we're not going to hospital. We're going straight to where we're supposed to be going." Yeah.
Hutch is in the back of the car in the boot, using his skill set to get out.
This is amazing. I love it.
Yeah. But doesn't he break his thumb to get out of the handcuffs?
Yeah, he dislocates his thumb, doesn't he, to get out the
How does the car? Does he hit them with the fire extinguisher?
No, he sprays it. He sprays the whole car, and then and then they can't see, and it crashes.
Yeah, they can't see where they're going. So
break them thumbs. Yeah. Car goes over. He gets out the boot or the rear of the car. So I think they've all been fucked up, haven't they?
They have, yeah. That conversation he has with the black Russian guy.
Yeah.
He turns around and he's dead.
Because does he say? I didn't know there was black Russians. That's what he says.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he says. Yeah, he says. He says he hears that a lot.
Yeah. Richard, do you like this?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was an inventive way to escape. It's been done, I guess, not quite the same as that. I mean, I'm trying to think of the last film I saw where there was an escape from a car boot that was done so effectively. But what I was going to say a little bit earlier is that what I think makes this film distinctive is that as its fight scenes tell a story. Like a good fight scene has a sense of narrative to it. It's not just mindless pounding. And as well as, I mean, most films today have good fight choreography, like the combatants look like they know what they're doing, but these fight scenes are memorable. And once you've seen the bus fight scene in this film, you remember it.
Yeah.
You know, it sticks in your brain. You know, and that I think in today's action films is quite rare, because the John Wick films I find the fight scenes look fantastic. They're very slick, but I can't remember any of them. Whereas that bus fight scene, you know, it has stages, it has a story to it. It is in itself has more than one act, and that's something I think this film does just brilliantly. Sorry about the wind in the background here. I just had to move.
There you go, Tim. I like saying this. Hannah Bomb. Good point, Richard. Yeah, agreed.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, sir.
And then he dies.
Well, he explains to the black guy what he does for a living, and this is,
okay.
Yeah, and the black guy obviously dies before he can finish what he's saying. Then he has to run all the way back home because he doesn't have any vehicles, so he runs all the way back home.
Is this where he's rung his dad to say they're coming for
him?
Yeah,
so basically, he warns his dad, and his dad is ready. So then he releases his family from the basement.
Yeah, so he's gone back to his house, and it's just carnage.
Yeah. Basically, it's the same people on the bus, the same stunt people on the bus, but they got masks on their face, so you can't tell it's them. You can't tell it's them. So, yeah.
So he's going to open up the cellar.
He has a shower first, though, before he opens it. Doesn't he? He has a shower. He cleans himself up before. Yeah, he does. He cleans himself up before he opens the... So the family doesn't see him in distress.
Oh, yeah, because I think Richard's gone.
Yeah.
What's she saying to him here? I can't remember.
So this is the bit where she's saying we've got to talk about this.
Yeah.
He's saying take them. He's saying take them to mother's place or wherever it is. I can't remember what he says taking to her. And so they're both, and she's not enraged or anything. That's why
knows. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I think that she knows.
So they're driving off.
It's very subtle, isn't it? I like that a lot.
Mm.
And this is where... Does he interrogate... I don't even think he's interrogating them, is he? He's just letting them die.
No. Well, he... Basically, again, I mean, this would be considered bad writing here, because he has all the people on his chair and he explains why he became a father and a family man for no reason, I can tell. So it would be considered bad writing, but because the film's so enjoyable, you just kind of accept it, if you know what I mean. Because there's no reason why he should do that, talk to them, because So
his plan is to burn it all.
Yeah. This is the bit where he talks about he was going to kill this guy and he let him go, and then a year later went back to his place, and and then he got quite jealous of him.
Yeah.
And then, and that's why he decided if he can do it, I can do it. And that's how he became a family man. Do you remember that scene?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Richard, are you back? You popped off for a minute.
He's on silent.
Oh.
I'm here. I was just responding to a comment in chat there. Sorry, Brennan, I just had to relocate. I live with quite a few people, so it can be quite difficult to find a quiet spot. This is a satisfying part of the film. I mean, this is the preparation for sort of the big finale. So, we're building now to something, quite climactic, and all these little touches really get us geared up for it. And you've got to think, this is still, as I said, a 90-minute film. So economically, in terms of storytelling, I think it's just done really well. It's not cramming the exposition in so that it's forced. So that, but it does the job of leading us on, making us more engaged with Hatch as a character, so that when he does what he does in the finale, we're like, yeah, this makes total sense. It's believable from a story point of view. So that's my take on it.
So what do you think of this scene where he just explains how he got to his position to these people that are just dying on his setting? Why does he do that? That's the question. As I said, at this moment in time, I was enjoying the film so much, I didn't care that there was no reason for him to do that.
I don't think he's really talking to them. I think it's an internal monologue. I think this is him talking to himself. You know,
I know,
he's
but there's no reason for him to do that. I
don't know. I think, do we not all have internal monologues from time to time?
We don't speak it out loud, though. Come on.
I talk to myself occasionally. You know, when I'm making a big decision. I don't.
This is where he's going about he was sent to kill somebody.
Yeah, he explains it to the people that are on the couch, which there's no reason to do that at all. It just didn't make any sense. But you know, I hear what you can look at it both ways. I guess I hear what he's saying. You know, so I've got one of those guns.
I just like the start of the whole scene when he's kind of going through the motions, setting everything up, and you think, what's he up to? And then suddenly, like, you see the guy sat on the sofa, and it just really made me laugh. Like, obviously, still one or two of them are still alive, you know.
Yeah.
I will say, Richard, your avatar is a nipple. Oh, we're getting people disappearing now. Okay, so this is where he was going to kill. Was it an accountant who stole a lot of money? Then he just said,
"Yeah."
But he gave him a chance.
There was something in his voice that he said that he was very sorry, so he lets him go. And then a year later, he goes to his house to see how he's doing, expecting him to go back to his ways, but he didn't. He changed, turned over a new leaf and became a family man and a 9-to-5 job, and he got really jealous. So, So again, there's no reason for him to be explaining anything to anyone. But as I said, I can see it both ways. But if you were in writer's school, they'll say, no, that's a no-no. You can't do that in a screenplay. But it looks like screenplays are actually, the way you write screenplays are actually changing these days. For the better, that's debatable.
Swappers, did you obviously you watched this for the first time today.
Yeah.
Did you was this what you expected, or was this film something totally different?
It wasn't a million miles away from what I expected. I expected what I saw in the trailer, but I didn't expect him to be. I knew he'd be some kind of like secret train killer or something, but I wasn't sure of what the subject would be in his specific line of work. So when I saw it, I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought, I do like this. I really do like this, and I'm glad there's a lot more to it than what I first thought after coming away from the trailer. And there's some really good humorous bits in it as well, without being purposefully humorous, if you know what I mean. It's just a side effect of the situation. It's kind of ridiculous almost, like the way he's lined these guys up on the sofa, and they're all like a little audience. They're sort of like sitting there listening to his monologue, as we said. It's almost like they're all going to die, and it's kind of his own sort of personal therapy of treating them like somebody, like a psychotherapist almost. Like they're not going to go anywhere. They're forced to sit there and listen to him. And we don't know how many of them are alive, how many are dead, but we know some of them are alive. And it's kind of like he's almost enjoying the fact that they know they're all fucked. They've bitten off more than they can chew. They've screwed with the wrong person. And this is the last thing they're going to see or hear before they go. And he knows as well. And then the very, very soon after this, when he sets fire to the whole room, and it's a really good scene. Obviously, the dummies just set up on the sofa, but you see them all on fire and you think, Jesus, these guys can't move to save themselves. And if they're still alive, they're all sitting there, and it's grim as hell. But
they died though, didn't they? Halfway through the conversation, he turns around and they're all dead. Yeah. So
are they? Well, we're not sure they're all dead. They might just be unconscious. But
no, they were all dead because they were staring. You can tell they were dead.
And then when he sat them down, there were some that were still alive though.
Yeah, one or two.
I wasn't sure when I was watching it whether they were still alive or not. So
then the next scene. Richard, it was all for nothing because he finds the kitty cat thing,
and it was under the sofa the whole time.
It was under the sofa, so it was just all for. He got triggered for nothing.
Yeah, but that's the writer saying to us, it was never about the kitty cat thing. It was all about what built up inside him, and just the idea of being, violated and having his home violated by them thugs, that brought out this monster inside him. That it didn't matter what the trigger was. This is just a little bit of, I guess it's almost irony. It's not quite irony, but that's sort of the message I think that I took away from that anyway.
This is written by Derek Kolstad, who also wrote the John Wick films.
It shows.
It does.
It's tight. Is it tight? It's slick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Moving on.
Economical. That would be my adjective. Economical.
It is very, very slick, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no unnecessary fat on the film at all, is there?
Yeah. This is where he puts the record on. I assume it's a special record or needle or something.
Yeah, it's a special record that will catch fire and decimate the house.
Yeah.
Sort of leave no evidence kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no device found.
The goddamn kitty cat bracelet. Yeah.
But he explains that the fire will disintegrate their bodies and there'll be nothing left. So there'll be no fingerprints, no bone.
To ash.
Yeah.
Obviously CGI fire, but we'll forgive it.
Mm.
And then this is where he decides he wants the car, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he steals it, doesn't he? He steals the car, smashes it, and steals the car. Can't do that these days, can you? What's it? In a car like that, because it's all computerized, isn't it? The cars.
These are where the thugs are going for the old fella. We'll just speed through these because there's still a lot to get through. Obviously, the old fella knows they're coming.
I like how when the guy comes in and he's like suffocating that other guy, and the black guy doesn't know what's going on. I thought that's quite funny.
Yeah, very good.
I quite like this where Christopher Lloyd just opens his eyes with a gun in his face.
Mm.
It's at this moment we know this is a good explanatory scene for that character, isn't it?
Puts
just grabs the gun and puts the finger in the
hammer.
I'm sorry, we've triggered Andy. Here you go. Andy Mouse 123. This bit is fucking awesome.
It really is.
Does anybody know what the runtime of this moment is? I don't know if Appion says 25 minutes left. Is that true?
About half an hour left, something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Christopher Lloyd gets some awesome scenes in this film, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like
it would be, I don't know.
There.
I think it's definitely around about an hour in this bit here. So I don't know how long the film is.
Okay, I think it's 92 minutes. Tricky to get these scenes because there's kind of lots of bodies flying around. Here we go.
That's the whole thing about Mythbusters when they found out that it's a complete myth that someone gets blown backwards several feet when they get hit by a shotgun.
Yeah.
That guy goes like right across the room and hits the wall. I love it though, but it's still great.
Yeah, so it's a film myth, isn't it? It's a film thing. It's like when they dive behind a car and people are firing bullets at you and the bullets hit the car. Every film, the bullets hit the car and that stops the bullets. But in real life, those bullets will just go right through the car and kill you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Even if you shut your door, they'll just go right through. Unless you're aiming for the engine will stop it. But everything else in the car, you're going to die. So...
this is where the guy's dying and he's got the remote. The guy in the reception thinks it's live TV and he's walked in. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, this is a bit where he punches that guy in the stomach, solar plexus.
This is where Hutch, he's got all his gold and he's buying the business effectively because he's going to make his stand, isn't he?
Yeah.
And the son is just not having it, is he?
Well, he didn't have a choice after that punch. Learned that in martial arts.
Yeah.
If you hit someone there, they ain't going to be able to breathe for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
He goes, what am I going to do? He goes, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Richard, is that a good deal, do you think, for the company?
Well, I mean... I can't estimate how much the gold is actually worth given on I don't know what the price of gold is at the moment, but I mean, it's cash in hand and tax free. So, tax free. Oh, there's a nice comment from Maximus, but tax free. So that's probably a decent deal. I think they won in the end on that one.
Yeah, they did.
Maximus. Hello, Maximus. New Gladiator film in the offing. Anybody see that?
But
They'll
I thought
probably
he
be
died at
fine.
the end of the film, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know how going to do that.
It's all about his daughter and how much better than him
I
she
think
was.
they've cast the young bloke as a younger Max.
Really?
I don't know,
Why?
yeah. I don't know, but Ridley Scott's doing
That is
it,
the
so,
question.
yeah.
Why?
Why?
Why do these things? You got a perfect story, contained, start, middle, end, done. Why go back? Why revisit? Just not necessary.
Anybody in the chat? Anybody know why we're going to get a Gladiator sequel?
Money.
Yeah. Why do we get any nonsensical, useless, pointless, redundant sequel these days?
Tim, I like saying this,
Money.
Hannibal. Why Ridley? Why?
Well, you could ask that about his Alien movies as well, couldn't you?
You go, Jim D, like the 300 sequel without Gerard Butler. Anyway.
I will say the 300 sequel had Eva Green in it, and there's two reasons there to watch any film she's in.
Yeah, Eva Green's fantastic. I've never seen it.
You see her in Penny Dreadful. Way.
This is where he finds out all his boys have been killed. So people are going to work. It's closed. So this is where we go very A-Team, isn't it?
It's great, isn't it?
I was just thinking that. Dun, 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 dun.
He's making some really vicious IEDs, isn't he?
Yeah. The stairwell, yeah.
I was expecting him to outfit a car with loads of weapons on it, like the A-Team does, but he didn't do that in the end.
Is this where his brother speaks to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's telling him not to do it, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he's preparing to burn the op shack, isn't he, in this scene?
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Just one man goes in there, kills everyone.
What's the name of this guy? Yulian. Yeah.
Yulian Kuznetsov.
Yeah.
Kuznetsov.
Sinatra. Sinatra wannabe.
The Impossible Dream. He was singing there while all this was happening.
Here we go. Happy on Punisher time. Yes. All this is good. I do like this. Where he's seen all the security stuff and he's just coming in now. That's Man U and Chelsea, maybe Everton. I don't know. Yeah, so he's just coming in, just burning it all down, isn't he?
This guy gets up and thinks like, "Shit, we're being invaded." Too late, mate.
Yeah.
Swiss cheese.
Again, I think CGI.
Yeah, it's probably a fair bit of CGI in it.
Yeah.
It's good though.
And this is the painting that he likes.
Yes, that's what's his name's painting, isn't it?
Guess so.
Who's the famous painter? The guy cut his ear off.
Yeah,
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just stands there and sort of smiles. I really like this bit. The next thing you see is him walking out with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Made me chuckle, that. Nice little transition there as well.
Is this where he puts fuel into the sprinkler system? Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He burns the whole place down.
In the chats, Time Profit, that is a shite painting.
Art is all relative, subjective.
It is, mate. It is.
So it took him 2 years to paint like an adult and a lifetime to paint like a child. That was a quote.
I think we're being corrected, folks. Time Profit in the chat says it is actually pronounced Van Gogh as in the Dutch word. See, I watch QI2. I used to watch that, but not anymore.
Yeah, I prefer what's his name than that woman, the woman
Fry,
that's taken over. I
Stephen
prefer
Fry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fry was so
Okay.
approachable. That woman just comes across as arrogant.
I just remember her from 73 on Saturday morning.
Yeah, same here, same here.
Lots of boxes being ticked though with her, but there you go. That's just me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Throws it and burns all the money.
Yeah.
Possible dream.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Oh,
And there he is, eating right in front of him, hiding in plain sight.
See, when I saw
Hilarious.
this, I just thought,
How
like,
good
is
is
he
this?
imagining him sat there? Oh, I thought, surely he can't be sat there. And he was actually sat there. He actually got
Yeah.
in.
Having his
He was
fucking
sitting
dinner.
there having a meal on his own.
Having his steak.
Oh. This was totally unexpected first time I saw this. Richard, did you like this?
I did. I mean, it just shows how, from the man we met at the start of the film, how far he's gone. Back into whoever he used to be. That he's now gone from a man who, was always late taking the garbage out. Now he's not afraid of anything really or anyone, because he knows these kind of people he's dealing with, and he's just done the most outrageous thing to piss them off, and now he's just in their face. So yeah, in terms of character and how the story runs, I thought it was a good moment. But I thought that for the whole film.
The thing is, though, with him, right, he knows that they're just dimer. What do you call those things? He just knew that the villains were just your average villains. I get the impression that these villains are not the kind of villains he used to deal with in the past. So they're pretty easy to bait. Yeah. So he wants him to get angry. He wants to lead him straight to the trap, which is where he works. So that's why he's there, to bait them. He knew he was going to come after him. He gave him a chance, then he was going, look, you can give this all up because I know you hate the Upshacked. You can take some money because you probably got some money put away. Go to another country. Move, Yes, I'm saying, get your face done so nobody will know who you are.
Saying,
and live your life. Yeah. But he didn't. He was given a chance.
Because he was going to do him then, and then he just pulled out the claymore.
Yeah. And that's what he was saying to him, saying, you know what, you could leave now. You can, because this is what you want. You don't want to be here. Leave, have a nice life, go and run some bar somewhere in another country. Nobody will find you, and that'll be that.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the cord of the claymores wrapped around his finger. I thought, wrapped around his middle finger, he could do like a nice little visual gag right here and just like hold his finger up with that tied around it.
Annie Mouse says, calmly having dinner, he has all the cards and feels indestructible.
I like how he does that thing with his mouth with the napkin when he lifts it off. Yeah.
Great scene.
You see, all those people with guns are stunt people. They're all the stunt people that they use at the end and in the middle. It's really funny.
So this is where you're saying, look, you can walk away. You've got some savings.
Yeah.
You can bounce back, etc., etc.
But the thing is, he knew he wasn't going to do that. He knew it. Because when he was in the car, he was going, come on, come on. I burnt it all.
He says, I burnt it all,
Yeah.
And I think this is just before he absolutely loses his shit, doesn't he?
He says to him, "You don't come after my family. That's something you don't do."
Yeah.
And so he's definitely telling him what's what, isn't he? It's like, fuck you.
Richard, do you see Saul Goodman here or what's the name? Mansell?
Jimmy. No, Hutch. No, I thought this was actually quite. I didn't follow Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad religiously. I mean, I watched bits and pieces of them, but no, I thought his performance here, I think, did very well to be distinct from Saul Goodman, because Saul Goodman is a different beast. I mean, Saul Goodman can do what he has to do when things get tough, but Hutch is a whole different animal. Capable of very different things than Saul Goodman is. I mean, Saul Goodman can do what he has to do, but Hutch is like a wild animal on a whole other level.
Here you go, Appion. You came to my house it's on now. And then Andy says, "I see Hutch." Yeah, same here.
Well, he's more of a controlled wild animal, isn't he? He's not a careless wild animal. He's just
he's methodical. He's methodical.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's leaving because I think this is where he's found out that he's burnt it all with his expression.
Well, he told him, didn't he? He said he's burnt it all, and then that's when he's trying to persuade him. Look, I've done you a favor. Basically, you hate the op shack. You can go now. You can do what you want to do. But he obviously didn't take it.
So he's leaving.
Yeah, he's waiting in the car outside, waiting for his decision, isn't he? Basically,
and he's got his fingers crossed that he would come out and chase him.
Yeah, he wants him to. Yeah, he wants the pursuit. He wants the action, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because he's looking in the window, in the mirror.
But he does. You got to give it to the villain. He does think about it. Yeah. But he does think about it for a bit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
When he leaves, the villain. But then he gets pissed and
Now, what's he wishing here then? Is he wishing that he turns?
He's wishing he'd come out. Right. He's wishing he'd come out and chase him because he knows he's not going to do the right thing.
Right.
That's what I think. Or maybe he's wishing that he doesn't come out.
What do you think, Swappers? Is he wishing that he stays in or comes out?
No, I think he's definitely. I was thinking of this at the time. He's definitely wishing the guy will react and not do what he suggested because he's got everything planned out. He's got the whole thing planned out. He's got all the booby traps planned out. He's got everything set out, and he wants to use it all. This is kind of like maybe he could die at any point along this during this plan. So he wants to, if he's going to go out, he wants to go out knowing he did the best he could do, and he wants to go out, giving everything. And this is the true person that he's suppressed for God knows how long, years and years. And he just wants to use all of his abilities to his fullest extent. And this guy has given him an opportunity to do that because there's been nothing for so long, and he never thought he'd have it again. And suddenly he's got a beautiful opportunity, this to take down this guy. And this one little misdemeanor has escalated into this huge event. And he's now got his teeth into it, and he's like a lion with a piece of meat, and he does not want to let go. And to end it there would just be awful. He'd lose all his momentum, his gusto. He'd walk home kind of let down and sad, and it would be a bit of a limp sort of whimper at the end of the adventure. He really wants to end on a bang, and the guy gives him what he wants. He comes out, and the guy chooses revenge, doesn't he? Chooses violence.
Yeah, he does.
What do you think, Richard? Is he wanting?
Well, originally when I first saw it, I thought, he wants to see how it's going to play out, but he also wants it to be over so he can get back to his family and move on. Mm-hmm. But after what Swappers just said, I'm not so sure. I think maybe your interpretation is actually closer to it, to what he's really thinking, which is, I'm ready now. I want this to, I've been holding on for, I've been suppressed for so long. Yeah, let's finish with the blaze of glory. So. Yeah, I think I've actually changed my view on that.
Chat, I think the chat kind of thinks that he knows he wants him to come out. Chat, what do you think? He's wanting the guy to stay in the club or come out? I wasn't so sure. I thought he wanted him to stay in, but with what you guys said now, I'm not so sure. Andy says he does the same thing on the bus. Yeah. He's wanting the confrontation, isn't he? And then he runs. Yeah, here you go. Andy says he's praying he comes out, and he does. So it's on, isn't it?
It's definitely on.
Like I was just goading him now. Atom Gray says he's fallen off the wagon like an ex-addict. He's loving the high.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Oh, well said, mate. Well said.
Fallen off the wagon. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a visual effect in this when the bad guy comes out and he walks towards his car. Ever noticed that?
Was there?
Yeah. So basically, when he comes out and he starts walking, all these cars are passing and none of them are hitting him. He walks out into the street and all the cars are moving and he stops, and then one car stops and he gets into it. But that's definitely a visual effect.
Mm-hmm.
He's smiling.
Have we got your
yes.
favorite? Have we got Ian's favorite lighting effect of wet streets at night as well?
Yeah.
I don't think we have we on this?
They do the wet the streets down. You can tell.
Not there.
Not there, no.
No, not there.
In the chase they do.
Yeah, this is good where the car just turns up. Everything just so timed to perfection.
Yeah, I love the bit where he's smiling with
a
the
bit
bullet
like
hole
that.
through the window. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, right, we're on the homeward leg now, so we'll.
He also puts the cassette in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So that he can drive to the music.
I like that.
So he goes in the alleyway and he gets blocked in, doesn't he?
But he does something that's really good here, though. He hides behind the engine of the car.
Yeah, the engine
So
block,
that the bullets can't touch him. Because in other films, it's always the door.
Yeah.
Especially when you got weapons like that, like Uzis, they're going to go right through the door like jelly. So.
Because he's just putting his hand up through the windscreen every now and again.
Yeah.
So driving out or pressing against the other car, pushing it down. Yeah. Using the mirror.
Also he pulls off, the mirror to see what's happening behind. It's quite clever as well. Reminds me of the Bourne films, because the Bourne films used to do a lot of that as well. Very clever things they used to do in there.
Here you go. Atom Gray says you must hose the streets down. It's mandatory.
They do it because
is that a film thing then? Okay.
Yeah. When they have chase or the shooting in the street, you always notice that the pavements are always wet. It's because it reflects the light from lamps and stuff like that onto the ground, and it makes it look better.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they wet it down. But I guess they didn't wet it down because it was quite snowy. It was probably freezing where they shot
Yeah,
this.
I can imagine. Yeah,
it's really
yeah,
cold.
probably froze, didn't it? Yeah, it might have been hazardous. But there's the bit when he gets stuck down the alleyway, isn't there? And that bus like pulls up behind him, and he's really disappointed that the car chase is like stopped because of a bloody bus. And he's like, shit.
Has he gone back to the factory?
Yeah, this is the bit where he goes back to the factory. I think he gets shot in the arm. I think, but his brother comes out and helps him. First time we see his brother.
Here you go. Atom Gray, the lighting. I'll start again. The lighting looks better. You can slide the tires easier.
I guess, but as I said, it's just to do with the DOP.
Yeah.
They always insist in wetting the floor down because of the reflections and stuff. But
Appion says the RZA has some great kills. He does.
Oh my god! Yeah, absolutely incredible.
Okay, we'll get through these. Go to the good bits.
I like the bit where he meets his dad. His dad comes out with the big shotgun, starts shooting at them.
That is brilliant, that bit,
And he has what is it? He has 4 guns on him and a big shotgun. Yeah. And he says, "You brought a lot of guns." And he says, "You brought a lot of Russians."
Yeah, brilliant line.
Appion says the collateral sniper shot is amazing. Yeah, Tim says, CGI muzzle flashes. So this is RZA, isn't it?
Yeah, his brother kicks in the
You
glass.
can just see the sniper rifle there.
That is one high-powered rifle.
Yeah.
I suppose if they do CGI muzzle flashes, they'll also have to do the CGI cartridges being ejected from the weapons as they fire.
Yeah, they do that as well. But I mean, if you look at John Wick, they don't do it at all in John Wick for some reason. But yeah, you're talking about details there. But you never. I mean, what's the point of putting them in anyway? Because it's second on the screen, the bullets as they fly out. Yeah. So I guess a lot of visual effects people don't bother to do it unless it's a huge close up, of course.
Yeah, or slow mo.
Well, I was thinking of the start of Inception, where DiCaprio's in the dream and he's sneaking into the fortress, and he purposely puts his hand to catch the casings as they're ejected from his gun. Just sort of a neat little detail that I always appreciated in that film. But and they fire so many rounds in this film. You think that it would be a thing. I mean, of the 80s when we were using blanks, right? Like in Rambo, the First Blood film, there's a scene at the end where he demolishes the computer room with the M60. And a big part of the effect of that is that the cartridges being ejected and, covering the floor and all the rest. I don't know. It's a small thing, but something that I just notice as being deficient in modern day action films.
Yeah, but as I said, you pay the CGI more money if they have to do more hours, so they probably just made a decision. All right, don't forget about the bullets, just have the muzzle flashes, I guess.
There you go, guys. Jacob says, when stuntmen like Evel Knievel does a stunt, they wet the roads to keep the dust down and help the wheels slip easier.
Don't know about that. Hey. All the same stuntmen.
Oh, so keeping the dust down would seem feasible. Yeah. Okay, so they're coming in, and
that hand grenade. Yeah.
I wonder what the body count of this film is.
I was trying to work out how many of these guys there were. There must have been like 30 or something.
Chat, does anybody know what the body count of this film is? Do your homework, boys and girls. 69mega.com, do you know what the body count is, especially after spending a night with your company? Here we go. Block user. Oh, I think my beautiful mods have taken out the bots.
Oh, it's a shame. I was looking forward to a bit of company.
I'm sure Andy Mouse got the link before we dispatched them, knowing Andy. So this is where it just starts all kicking off, isn't it?
I hope Christopher Lloyd is, because he's really pushing it, isn't he? He's quite a man of age, but I hope, and I don't say this lightly, I hope he's still alive for the sequel.
He's very active on the Twitter at the moment.
He is these days.
He's only just discovered the Twitter, so he's all over it. Yeah. So it must be. Are we all going to go see the sequel at the cinema? I am.
I definitely will.
Yeah, sure.
I saw this at it.
I will say, I know you did, Ian. Yeah, Jacob Ironside says 50.
He's 50? No,
the body count.
Oh, 50.
Billy Bob, kicking bots. That sounds bigoted. I think we're all bigoted, aren't we, in some form or another?
I'm smalleted.
According to the powers, yeah. This is the stairwell.
Stream killer.
Yeah, stream killer.
That was a great bit, that with all the wall.
Yeah, I do enjoy a good booby trap.
Look at that.
This is just bloke porn, isn't it?
Gun porn.
Yeah.
I like when he shoots, takes one bullet.
Fetishizing gun violence.
Yeah. But you know what, right? Matt Egan, where his name is, the guy who directed Die Hard, literally said that it's true that the producers were trying to sell guns when they were making movies. So they always had to have a bit in a movie that their gun goes off big time.
Yeah.
Like he made Predator. He had a scene like that when he was shooting in the forest, and in Die Hard, they had a bit where they were shooting the glass. Shooting the glass, and it was all deliberate to sell the guns.
Appion says, Home Alone of steroids. It is. I think this is where we start. We're going to see some good skills in a moment. This is where he pushes the guy with his gun against the wall.
Yeah.
Unlocks the suppressor.
Yeah.
Well, he pulls off the suppressor, doesn't he, the guy, and then he
Yeah.
just shoots that guy behind him. Bang.
Amazing.
Quite cool. Yeah, it's quite cool.
I think I got the running order of this because when I get the slides, I take them in sequence, but obviously sometimes you have to go back to get the flash. I think I've got this right. I hope I have. Yeah, this was excellent. You know, when he just...
That was a great slide, I'll be honest. Well done. Well done.
Boom.
Smacks him, takes his head off with that, and then with the recoil, twat. Yeah, it's very good.
Hits him in the face.
Yeah.
And that guy tries to
Inventive.
tackle him.
Yeah. Now, yeah,
And
that's
he
where it gets...
shoots all
Yeah,
through
there
him.
you go. That's the 3-in-1 shot.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a CGI muzzle flash, because if that was real, his hands would be lit up from that flash, and that guy's face will be lit up slightly.
Yeah.
So there's nothing there. So that's definitely a
The
CGI.
3-bang.
Yeah.
That's more believable than Ray's job in The Last Jedi, let's be honest.
Oh, God, yeah.
Double collateral.
It's a hat trick.
It is.
Triple kill.
Who was the first one to do that? I think it was Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, I think.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, remember on a tank, all three of them line up and Indiana
right.
Jones shoots one, it goes right through the three of them and they all fall off the
Will he
tank.
get to take all the bodies home
I don't know.
for his trophy cabinet?
And then this bit here, you can see the wire pull the guy,
Yeah.
and they didn't get rid of it. It's really weird. They
You
should
know,
have really
Billy
got rid
Bob
of it.
says natural hat trick. Yes, it was a blinder as well, wasn't it? All this is done very, very well, isn't it? It's just boys' own stuff. It's just so good.
That guy's got a bit of a belly there, hasn't he?
I noticed that as well, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's obviously been out of action for a while.
Yeah.
Because he's been hiding.
So you can see the wire. There was a wire connected to that guy when he fell behind Chris Lloyd, and you can still see the wire right there behind him.
Yeah.
You can see the wire right there when he comes through the window. You thought they'd get rid of that CGI wise. Can you see it? It's just there, the wire pulling him, and then as he falls, that wire there hanging down. That's the wire connected to the stunt guy. It's really weird. As I said, they didn't get rid of it. Oh well.
Well, maybe it was an oversight. I mean, you say that the film looks it was shot quickly. Apparently, the principal photography is 34 days. Maybe post-production, maybe they were on a really a tight time frame.
Yeah.
Maybe they post-production was really short too. They had a window for distribution, and they went for it regardless. So
yeah, you're
I
probably
mean, there's
right.
stuff like that there's stuff like that in the Matrix too. Not with wires per se, but there are shots in the Matrix if you go frame by frame. I mean, this is a much earlier film, right? But if you go frame by frame, you'll see, a mistake. Like where Agent's about to punch a hole in the wall, you can see the plaster for the hole is already organized for him to hit the spot.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just a factor. Well, I don't know, Ian, you're the expert. Is it a reality of filmmaking to accept a certain level of error is going to creep into your finished product?
Yeah, there is. I mean, if you look at Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Great
there's
question.
loads of mistakes in that. Loads, because Spielberg was shooting so fast that there was nothing they can do. I mean, like the bit where the guy's holding a knife to Marion, and you see one shot and the knife's pointing down, and the next shot it's pointing up. So, there's loads of mistakes. There was one guy wearing Adidas trainers in a shot in Raiders Lost Ark. So,
Well,
if
it's
you're
a
shooting
German
really
company.
fast, well, if you're shooting fast, there's some bits that you can accept and some bits you can't, if you know what I mean. But that's
Did
just the
we-
filmmaking,
Stormtrooper bumps his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did we say this film was shot quickly?
I think so. I'm not sure.
So
though.
Does it kind of work in its favour that it was just bang, 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 no pun intended?
I think sometimes it does work in your favour if you're under a lot of pressure and everybody's working for the project and want the project to be good. I think it does work sometimes, and then sometimes when people don't care, it doesn't. If you know what I mean. So
Next question: does this film actually feel like a proper feature film, or a very good TV movie.
Nah, feature.
Personally, I think it felt like a feature film. I did. From this point onwards, when they get to the factory, it did make me feel. It felt like a Lethal Weapon movie almost.
Yeah.
Especially with the kind of the buddy situation between Hutch and his brother.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, there's a great dynamic there. You know, they could make a great sequel with the dad in there as well, and the brothers and stuff. It'd be awesome. It's not shot in the same. It's not shot in the same kind of glitzy way as the Lethal Weapon movies, and I think it would have benefited from that. But you can't take anything away from it. It's still great.
Appian says, "Hell yes, a film." Yeah. I kind of got the feeling now. Were they going to put this out as a TV movie, or did they just think, "Oh, it's quite good. This actually, we'll put it out."
No, I think it was made to be a feature.
Right. Okay.
Because you're talking about the people that made John Wick.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that John Wick was a huge success. So I can't see any distributor going, nah, it's a TV movie. To the people that made John Wick, they're going to obviously think it's going to be a hit.
I wonder exactly what the story is then, because obviously Bob Odenkirk based this on real life happenings. Did they go to him, or did he go to them?
No, he went to them. He went to them, suggesting that they made a film with him as the lead, and they loved it because the idea of someone that actually doesn't look like an action hero.
Yeah.
And plus, he's quite famous because of because of Soul.
Yeah.
They decided to go for it.
He can as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what we're saying is this film is made from the right place, then, isn't it? Really?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it come over? I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a nice argument that sort of low and mid-budget films still have a place in the cinema. Because much has been made of huge tentpole films dominating the cinema and squeezing out everything else. So it's sort of a nice argument for that, I think. Yeah, didn't make a huge profit, but
my kind of point is, obviously it's from the right place, but I think we can tell that everybody's just having a great time shooting it. Do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, shooting stuff like this is really does take it out of the actors. It really does. It just goes to prove how more professional the Americans are compared to the British people, because British people, British actors, I've been there. They always complain when you're doing action sequences or when you're doing a late night, whatever. But I've never met an American that complain about anything. They're always rearing to go. I guess it's the culture. I guess.
Here you go, Atom Gray. More of this. Less Disney.
Yeah.
I cannot argue.
Ian, would you say that? I mean, perhaps the level of enjoyment wasn't so much. It was arduous, so it wasn't fun. But would you say that what comes through is a sense of investment? That the cast, the crew were really invested in making it. It wasn't easy. It wasn't like a party for them, but at the same time, they believed in it. I mean, Bob Odenkirk obviously put in tremendous effort to be ready for this film.
Yeah.
So then that sense of investiture in the product comes through. Was that fair to say, Ian?
Yeah, it's fair to say that the you guys must know anything that is hard to do, right, always turns out good in the end. Always, right? If you set out to do something, and obstacle upon obstacle, and you just don't give up, in the end, it turns out probably better than you think it will turn out. So I have no doubt that it was really hard to shoot this film, because I can see the weather was absolutely awful. They must have been, he must have been freezing when he did that fight on the bus when he came out there, because you see he's not hardly wearing anything. Do you know what I mean? So they must have been freezing on that bus.
I did tweet. I always tweet the stream out before we go on, and I tweeted at Bob Odenkirk saying we're doing this, and I asked him for a cheeky retweet. So we'll see if he sees it.
Is he on Twitter?
Yeah, he's on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah. Did not know that. I do like him though. I think he's
great.
Such a brilliant actor.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
I think he's a better actor than he is a comedian.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
I genuinely look forward to the sequel of this one.
He's getting
would
on
be
there a bit, though, isn't he?
He's 60, yeah. Would be great if we see a brief glimpse of John Wick, though. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. As if he survives John Wick 4.
Well, I think John Wick 5 has been announced. I think they're doing 5, I think.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I'm sure I read somewhere there's going to be 5 John Wick films.
Mm.
I don't care. I like John Wick.
Do you know what this character reminds me of, though? It reminds me of, because he's an easygoing character, but he's deadly as well. It reminds me, did you ever see that film Red with Bruce Willis?
I haven't seen those, no. I know,
Anyone?
I know what they are.
Anyone? No? No? Obviously not.
Helen
But-
Mirren,
Yeah.
Yes.
John Malkovich, a lot
Yeah.
of older actors.
Yeah,
Bruce,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you seen
Isn't it retired and extremely dangerous?
Yeah. But the character of Bruce Willis, he's kind of like this guy here. He's kind of easygoing, but he's deadly as well. So it kind of reminds me of his character. Kind of reminds me a bit like that as well. So
Here you go, folks. Billy Bob. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
exactly.
Indeed.
Mm.
Appion Red was good. I haven't seen any of them.
It's a good film.
I've
It's
not
a really
seen
good
them.
film. I think it's one of the Red 2 was okay as well, but I think it's one of those very last films that Bruce Willis was invested in.
Okay. I will say Time Prophet was Red any good. Did you enjoy it? Okay.
Did
Right,
enjoy
we're
it.
on the home
Carl
notes.
Urban plays a supporting role,
Yeah, in the first one.
in Red.
Yeah,
Yeah, the first one.
I
That's
did
right.
like this little visual gag here.
Yeah, when he rubs out 240 days.
Yeah. Okay, so we're on the final straight now, boys and girls.
So I could have sworn this guy got shot in the beginning. They've reused him.
Time Prophet did like Red and Red 2. Right, okay. That's a good recommendation.
That's 2 I need to see.
CGI blood of the brains going on the
Yeah.
walls. Yeah. I think because it happens so fast, it looks genuinely real. But when you do the slides,
Yeah, it does.
you can tell that it's like they've really honed down the CGI effect of blood.
Yeah. There's some people are really good at doing it, and some
Yeah.
people are rubbish at doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, the guns are too close to people to actually use real blanks,
Yeah.
so it's safer to do it.
Is that the guy who got his
CGI.
teeth knocked out in the beginning? The main stuntman?
I
It looks
don't
like
know. It could be. It could
yeah,
be.
it looks like him. Yeah, I think this is where he meets his maker. Yeah, all this was very kind of guy on the bus as well.
That's when he gets his gun from the
Yeah,
fridge, isn't
gets
it?
backed into the kitchen, doesn't he? And then
Mhm.
gets the gun out.
Bit cold,
Through
the
cereal
gun, but
box,
hey.
yeah. Through the cereal box, muzzle flash.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a real muzzle flash. It might be. Who knows?
Yeah, it's. I genuinely think pretty much all of this is CGI muzzle flashing.
He's got his teeth back.
No,
He's got
that's
his
a
teeth
different
back.
bloke.
Look.
Different that's a
Oh, is
different
it?
bloke.
Looks like him,
Yeah.
though. This bit's a good bit,
Um,
isn't it?
Yeah, that's steel rods, like a booby
Yeah.
trap with steel rods,
Mm.
and then just shoot them across the walls. Very bloody. What did Appion say? Home Alone on steroids.
And he's taking on someone, shooting him multiple times.
Swappers, good violence.
I thought it was amazingly well storyboarded and orchestrated, choreographed and acted out. Really nice and tight and visceral, and they felt the weight and the power of everything, even though it might be CG this and CG that. Didn't bother me in the slightest. It really worked.
Mm.
Richard, good violence.
Well, What I was reminded of, because someone said Lethal Weapon earlier, and I think that's fair. I was reminded of the sort of the final hospital shootout scene from the John Woo classic Hard Boiled. That's what this sequence reminded me of. Not so much of the booby traps, but just the how it was done with the the number of henchmen and the amount of gunfire and all the distractions and things. So that's what it reminded me of. So yes, in terms of choreographed and well storyboard, as Swapper said, yeah, it's terrific. It's so well done. There's a level of craftsmanship and care and investment taken by the crew that I think a lot of productions, even John Wick to some degree, don't have, which is what makes this film distinct. So the short answer, yes, 2 thumbs up from me.
Is it, well, it's the same company as John Wick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same filmmakers.
Yeah.
Same filmmakers. They must have taken about.
Yeah, but they've taken an approach.
Go on, Richard.
Yeah, a different approach to this film, though, and
yeah, they did. Yeah.
I kind of like it better than John Wick.
Well, somebody, I think one of the filmmakers said it's John Wick but with a story. So there you go. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Here you go, uninspired reviewer. Hard Boiled is a great gun action. You feel the shotgun blasts. I don't think I've seen Hard Boiled. I can't.
Yeah, Hard Boiled's really good. The ending's really
Have
good.
you not?
I can't. Remember.
Oh, you've got to see Hard Boiled, Brown. You
Perhaps
have
we'll have to put
got to see Hard Boiled.
Yeah, we'll have to probably chalk that up for a Saturday, perhaps. Here you go. Yes, Jim D. Equalizer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, very good. Yes, I did like that film. Denzel Washington.
We were talking about Queen Latifah.
Does Dan like that?
No, I don't. No, I don't think he watches it. I just think it's awful.
God,
but
I know
anyway.
I think it's got another season as well.
Yeah, good luck to them. I'm not watching it.
No, it's terrible. And what the worst thing about it is that she sort of swans around doing her vigilante thing, and she lives in an address with a family that they've got no effort made to protect them, protect her identity. Whereas Denzel in his films, he is meticulous to the degree of paranoia of protecting his identity. He hides in plain sight. He moves around. He's aware of all his surroundings. His house is a safe room. He takes steps to make sure that nothing gets back to him. Whereas Queen Latifah, it's just ridiculous. It beggars belief. I mean, that's putting the fight scenes aside, right? That's a whole different thing. But just that she could operate like that and not have consequences, it's just beyond. Ugh.
Here you go, folks.
Sorry, bit of a personal rant there.
It's fine. I think Billy Bob is a purist. The Equalizer is not Denzel. Aha.
Well, yeah.
It's
I kind of
EY
agree.
Woo-woo, isn't it? Yeah, Edward Woodward.
kind of agree.
However, he wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. It was a different take on it, and it wasn't exactly the way they portrayed Robert Call in a TV show. So it was a different take, and I didn't mind. I think they cast well. I think they cast him, for a good reason because he's sellable. I didn't think they cast him because he was black, unlike some of the stuff that's happening today.
Well, it's Denzel, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a good interpretation of the Equalizer, I thought.
I saw a video of Denzel today on the Twitter when somebody asked him about the news, and he said, "Don't watch it. They're lying to you."
Don't watch what?
The news.
Oh, the news.
Because he's very all this kind of anti-woke, anti-news, all this stuff. He knows what's going down.
Yeah. Well, so do I.
Yeah. Okay, so
name a bad Denzel Washington performance. Good luck to you. He's brilliant. He is. Well, you can maybe name a bad film, but a bad performance by him.
Saint Elsewhere. No, I'm joking. Because he was in Saint Elsewhere. TV show, yeah.
He was.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's where he started. In a TV show. It's like a hospital drama. He was in Saint Elsewhere.
I think I was told by the uninspired reviewer that I've been ordered to watch Hard Boiled. I can't find the comment, but I've been ordered, so I will.
Hardboiled's a really good film. It's quite long though.
Yeah,
it's a good film.
Mm.
Now this was a bit over the top. How we got rid of him, wasn't it? With the glass and everything. Don't you think?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's face
Inventive.
it. Inventive. He's been working at this place, so he should know exactly. Yeah.
It was bulletproof glass he had, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to shoot at him, and he put the claymore in the front. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Here you go.
His brother got shot.
Yes, sir. You should. Yes, sir. I will. Appion, riot shield.
It makes you wonder what they actually make in that factory. Is it bulletproof glass or something?
To me, I don't know. It looked like a kind of. Oh, okay. This is kind of last stand stuff now, isn't it?
Everybody's out of bullets.
Yeah. And this
he
is
says, "I'm going to kill your family. I'm going to kill everybody." Blah blah blah. Yeah, right. It's really funny, right? Because he takes the duct tape, as the Americans would say. We say gaffer tape, or I don't know what tape it is, and he breaks it with his teeth. You know how hard it is to do that, especially to get it right. It's funny.
We used to call it. Obviously, I've changed the word for the algorithm. Grape tape.
Right.
Time Profit. They made Calculon robots. Rest in peace. Yeah, they did. So there you go. There's the grape tape.
It's like, no, come on. You know, if you do that, it's just gonna, especially if it is gaffer tape.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a little thing.
Hopefully, my internet connection isn't going to die because it's telling me. Oh, there we go.
Bang, 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 bang.
I did like the bullets hitting the glass.
And then he just pulls the claymore thing and blows him up. Good visual effect.
I think this is CGI. Do you, Richard?
It is CGI. It's definitely CGI.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah,
it's
I think we can. Yeah, this is 100%.
You've incinerated your actor there.
Yeah.
This was a great way to end the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least this sequence.
Are claymore mines though more shrapnel than explosive force? So wouldn't he? I mean, if it was more realistic, it'd be less flame and more just absolutely pureed.
Yeah, the directional as well, because it said at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know when he's having his dinner with the meal, it said on the face
front towards enemy.
Yeah. So even
front towards enemy.
Yeah, even a little subtle touch like that, which I've just noticed. Yeah. So all very, very clever.
It's a very
great slides, Brown.
Yeah, this is a very well
shot taken long enough to get. So I hope you guys appreciate this.
Good slides, mate. Good slides.
2 days of solid work doing this. Yeah, we might as well savour them while we're here.
It's such a good. I didn't expect this at all. It was a nice, unexpected surprise at the end of this whole warehouse sequence. So it was great.
Would you like to see the Tenet version of this film? It's a thinking man's joke. Here we go. For everybody, this is the Tenet version. There you go. You're welcome. Okay. You get that, don't you, Richard? Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. I think that, yes, thank you, Appion, yes.
I expected him to be a bit more of a mess than that, to be honest with you.
I think he would be. The puree, rather than just a bit blown up.
Here you go. Time Profit. Mr. Brown Alliance, that is me. What about exporting every frame of a movie and it would make a 3-year stream? I've been trying to figure out how to get the stills quicker, because I think in VLC you can auto set frame rates where you can auto export, which is very, very good, but not so good if you don't catch the muzzle flashes. And I think that's where the time is spent, trying to get the muzzle flashes, etc. And then it's just the editing at the end, trying to get them down to some reasonable numbers. It just takes forever. So anyway,
what I would have liked in this sequence here is just like a pair of legs sat up against the container or whatever it was, the wall behind him.
Oh yeah, just half a torso.
And then just a bloody smear of his upper body, just up the
wall. Splodge all over. Yeah.
Mm. But then that would have taken the certificate up one, wouldn't it? I guess.
Time Profit, Mr. Brown Alliance, in Premiere Pro, you can export all the frames to a JPEG in one go. Yes, I need a decent computer to do that, and I haven't got Premiere Pro. So if any of you are feeling generous, you could perhaps donate to the computer fund.
There is a function in Premiere Pro where you can actually, if you have one big film, you can tell the program to cut every cut in the film, and it will do it for you.
Oh, I think I need to be getting Premiere Pro then.
Yeah. You get a shitload of frames though, because there's a load of cuts in this movie. So
yeah. There are ways and means, as I said, to get the kind of auto exporting of frames, but it's trying to get the key ones, well, effectively, in inverted commas, the money shot, which is the time-consuming stuff. But anyway, I'll figure it out one day. Okay, so I think that's it. We've won.
Mm.
I don't think
there's a bit where he gets the painting and he sees the cat, doesn't he?
He hears the cat, doesn't he?
Mm. After all those bullets, the cat didn't get one.
Well, it was up in the that
9 lives, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was thinking about how the cat would have been acting the whole time in the ceiling and in the ducts with all that gunfire going on and explosions and everything.
We're getting some technical tips here. Jacob Ironside, I use Photoshop. You can put a video into Photoshop and you can take out every single frames. The thing is, you've still got to sort the single frames, so it's just ball aching no matter what way you do it. It just takes forever. But anyway, I can see why video editing takes so long as well.
Reminds me, I need to video edit tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so we're reaching the end, folks. So for everybody in the chat, I'm going to ask for the 24 people who are watching, especially the lurkers, please make yourself known. Give us a mark out of 10 for the film. Marks out of 10, folks, in the chat. So this is where we find the tuner. And we're back to the beginning. Okay, so
who the hell are you?
We'll just do one more scene and then we'll do the marks, guys.
I'm nobody.
Nice pussy. I mean, just that scene. He looks fucking badass, doesn't he? Or is it just me?
He just looks like he's been beaten up. That's what he looks like.
Yeah.
But it's just the idea that he's got the cigarette and he's smoking, because even though cigarettes are not good for you, but in movies you look cool when you're smoking a cigarette. Some reason.
So this is where they get the phone call, isn't it? At the same time.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
We never know who the phone call's from.
The government.
Yeah.
From the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the man.
I'm nobody. Right, panel. So, Richard, marks out of 10, kind of a closing sentence or paragraph.
Okay, so let's say that it has to be judged against action films in general. So let's say Die Hard, Aliens are a 10 out of 10. This would be 8.5. It's inventive, it's quick, it's enjoyable. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for me.
We'll do a few marks in the chat. Z, he says 7.
Hey, Z3PO.
Appion says 8. I thought it'd have been a 9, but there you go, because I think Appion's really into this one. Here we go, Andy. Yeah, 10. I think Andy's been wanting us to do this film for ages. Wookie, hello Wookie, 9. Tim, I like saying this, Hannabon, 8.5. Uninspired, 9 out of 10. Nothing is perfect except Lord of the Rings.
Well, I agree with that.
Mr. Brown, I definitely agree with that.
Perfect is 10 out of 10 Lord of Rings, mate. Time Prophet, 11 out of 10. Nice reference. Jim D, 8. Atom Gray, 7. Nice ride, though. Any more marks, anybody? Billy Bob, first acts are 10, and then the end gets a bit wonky. So, yeah, 7 overall. Swappers.
No one said it would have been a 10 if it had Jennifer Lawrence in it.
Yeah.
If she made it. Or she did make it though, didn't she?
She
made every film.
She did.
Yeah, she's probably there in the...
She did.
Yeah, Andy says 9. I nearly missed that, Andy. Sorry, mate. Swappers, a closing paragraph, perhaps, and a mark out of 10?
I'd give it a good, like...
Jacob, 10.
Like Romeo, I'd say a good 8.5. I might even give it a 9 because of the fact there's no woke in it, and it's just so non-woke. It's so like pre-woke era filmmaking. It was joyous to watch a film and experience it without once even the inclination of looking for anything woke in it. It was beautiful.
Ian, closing thoughts, mark out of 10.
The closing thoughts is the film is really entertaining. I mean, it's not perfect. No film is really. Let's face it. And I really enjoyed it, and I thought the best thing about it was Bob. Obviously,
yeah, it's great.
He's absolutely terrific. I would give it. I mean, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10, and to me, that's a really good score.
Yeah.
But there you go.
I will say I really enjoyed this film. It's gun porn. It's really, really tight, nice and compact. I think you can tell everybody's enjoying themselves. I like the story. The action's fantastic. When I was looking at Internet Movie Database today to get the trivia, I thought, I've not marked this film yet. So I gave this film 8 out of 10. I thought, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I would buy it. I would actually buy this film.
Nice, compact. Movies, nice and compact. Does what it says on the tin. And Bob Odenkirk's fantastic. He
really is amazing in this film.
Okay, so this is the last scene. 3 months later, I think they're house hunting, aren't they? If I do believe. Because she is an estate agent as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here you go. Required viewing. And then get the phone call.
Yep. Yeah, and they know exactly what that phone call was.
And what's the line?
Do you have a basement?
Yeah. I knew that was coming. I didn't think she'd say it, though, but I really quite like the fact that she said it, not him. So alluding to a little bit more between them there as well.
Yeah, probably know the full story now, doesn't she?
Appian says, if there was a better villain, the score would have been higher. Yeah.
I thought he was a really good villain. I really liked him.
Yeah, he was a nutter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah, you really hated him.
That's it, folks.
Mr. Brown, you didn't get the post-credits sequence. You didn't get the post-credits thing.
Yeah, that's
Which
true.
was?
The RV.
The RV when they were in the RV.
The RV.
Shit. We'll have to do that on
Alright,
another stream.
It's all right.
Right, we'll have to do this again, lads. We'll be back next week to do.
Again,
I'll delete this. I fucked up. Sorry, boys and girls. Was it a post-credit scene?
There was, yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Fucking, I went through it.
With Christopher Lloyd and the adopted guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
can't remember his name. Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I fucked up.
It's all right. You're allowed to fuck up.
I'm only a man.
Only human.
Own. I'm only human.
It's all right. You got the movie in. You got the the important stuff in.
Even the sex bots can smell blood. Because Secret of Comedy, they've turned up. Okay, so I think that's it, folks. Minus the post-credit scene, but I kind of get the feeling you guys know what it is. I certainly don't, but I will check after this. I think that's it. 3 hours is a nice round figure to end on. So I would just say, please consider donating to the channel. Links in the description or pinned message. And if you've made it to the end, I know you guys are subscribers, but if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. That is it, folks. Chat, you are wonderful. Same faces, a few new faces. Always great to see you, boys and girls. Absolutely top draw. Kind of get the feeling the chat liked this one. They've been waiting long enough. Apologies for... I think this was scheduled a month ago, but we haven't been able to get any guests, which I think is quite the irony of it all. We couldn't get anybody... We couldn't get nobody for nobody, but anyway, there's a joke in there somewhere. So I'll thank the guests. Richard, Romeo, Tango,
Thank you,
November, Zulu. Thank you, my friend.
Anytime. Thank you, Brown.
We'll see you next time. Swappers, cheers, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for covering the movie. Thanks to Mr. Romeo and Mega Geek and yourself. It's been great fun and love the film, love the stream. Thank you very much.
And last but by no means least, the wise elder of the channel, you know the rest, the Mega Geek himself. I know this off by heart. Ian David Diaz.
No worries, guys. No worries.
We'll see you next time, Ian. Cheers, mates. I think that is it, guys. We're back tomorrow for the musing stuff, the end of the week stuff. So we'll see you at the same time, 10:30 tomorrow. I think that's it, folks. If we don't see you tomorrow, have a great Sunday and the rest of your week. So that is it. Take care, everybody. 3 hours and we're away. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra, everyone. Thank you. Bye.